Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank y'all for joining us today. Shout out to the NTZ crew. That's Jacob, Ty, and Jay. I'm pretty sure Michael Beat Your Life will be on here. All my fourth quarter members, there's Mr. Passport King. All my old heads, the Alpha Genius. Any new viewers and subscribers watching for the first time today, welcome. What's up, Harry Shoulders? Anybody catching this on replay? We got a special guest today, Mr. Michael Onstad. Y'all know I talk a lot about healthcare and healthcare insurance on here, so I thought it'd be a good time to bring him on so he can answer a lot of y'all's questions. But remember, this is your live stream. We'll talk about anything y'all want to talk about. Just put it over here. We'll get to it. The peso is 58.71. And I did want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody over in America who celebrates that. Happy Thanksgiving, Mike. If you want to go ahead and just kind of introduce yourself just a
Oh,
little
okay.
bit, and then I got some questions for you.
All right. Well, I was in the insurance business like you were back in,
Go ahead, keep
back,
going.
yeah, started, I've been in the business now for about 45 years. Came to the Philippines 7 years ago and took it up as a hobby, and it sort of got out of hand. Now it's a full-time job. Anyhow, it's funny how those things happen. That's about all I can say about myself. I'm married to a beautiful Filipina, and we have a 7-year-old daughter. Where'd you go?
No, that's my gas oil guy. I got my gas oil guy. Go ahead, just keep talking, Mike. I'll be with you just a minute.
All right. Well, I
I'm just
guess
gonna.
my
I've got to get my pay for my gas.
feel free to ask a question. I'm sort of lost here. I'm not good at talking about myself.
Yeah, I apologize, everybody. I'm back. That was my gas oil. We ran out today. But let me ask you, I don't know if you covered it, Mike. How long have you been in the insurance business?
45 years.
45 years. Now, what companies do you represent over here in the Philippines?
Well, I used to work with three, but then I had to pare it down and pick a favorite because it became apparent that the service in the Philippines, it leaves a lot to be desired, and so I had to really work and concentrate on one insurance company. I picked Pacific Cross, and we basically pick up the slack where the service it doesn't exist. And I got a great working relationship with them, and I can get things done.
Yeah. Let me ask you something now. Is that if I were to get a policy from you, would it be effective in Thailand or say Vietnam?
Well, the peso plan will cover you for unlimited 30-day trips worldwide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
For
for
30
emergency
days?
medical.
Oh,
The
emergency.
Yeah, the U.S. dollar plan allows for you to actually travel to other countries for treatment.
Well, that's pretty good. Now, the policies that you're selling, are they effective immediately or is there a waiting period?
Well, once the application is approved and the premium settled, accidents are covered immediately. Everything else, there's a 30-day waiting period. Pre-existing conditions, another matter. They're all subject to a 12-month waiting period, and they're going to ask for an extra premium after the waiting period to cover at your option. I
Wow.
have had I have had some pre-existing conditions that are serious that have been permanently excluded.
Yeah, that's pretty good. 30 days, and then it goes into effect for
Yeah,
somebody who's basically healthy. Because I tell people all the time that it's your health that buys your health insurance. Is that correct, Mike? Not
pardon
your
me.
money. Your health is what buys your health insurance.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you want to get it while you're healthy. You don't want to get it when
that's
you
right.
got cancer or you
Well,
got
yeah,
type 2 diabetes,
yeah.
because me and we put it off. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on, because there's a lot of guys over here, because you do a lot of business here, man. You're one of the top guys. Actually, you're the only guy I know over here with it. But that tells me one thing, that a lot of men over here don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to get when you're healthy, and of course, it's guaranteed renewable. So if your health goes sideways, you can still keep it. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, now he asked you, he said, Mike, are you currently selling insurance in the Philippines?
Yes.
Yes, he is. Okay, now he covered this pre-existing conditions. Just talk a little bit about that again, Mike. Okay.
Okay. Pre-existing conditions have a 12-month waiting period. After the 12 months, if they don't exclude it, and we'll know that up front, by the way, so you're not paying a premium and hoping that they'll take on your pre-existing condition after the 12 months. They'll let you know up front, and you'll be able to cover it at your option at an additional premium.
Okay. Now he's asking you, if someone was going to live here 1 to 3 months, would travel insurance be enough, or should they get a regular policy from you?
1 to 3 months, you're pretty well stuck with travel insurance. Once you get over 6 months, you can make a case that even though when you're not here, you're not covered, it's not doing anything for you, it might be justified.
Yeah. Now a guy says, hey, why don't you wait till more people get on here? Well, we got to respect Mike's time. He's a busy guy. He is retired, basically retired. I mean, I just wanted to get him on here so he could answer some of the questions that you guys have. Now, the policies that you sell, Mike, do they have like a network, or can you go to any hospital or provider in the Philippines?
There's 400 hospitals on the accredited list. And what accredited means is that the insurance company will pay your bill directly with the hospital. Okay, if it happens to be that you end up in an emergency at an unaccredited hospital, you're still covered, but it's on the pay and claim basis. And yes, claiming can be a nightmare with a lot of insurance companies. We've got it down to an art, and we average about 30 days. And that's a record in the Philippines, guaranteed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because that's gonna go into my next question. So if I were to get sick, I've got your policy. I don't need money up front to be admitted into the hospital,
Correct.
but without it, I probably will, right?
Well, yeah, it's hit and miss, but most hospitals will not start to treat you until you cough up anywhere from 50 to 100,000 pesos.
Wow. Now he wants to know: is there any physical or lab work required to, the underwriting? Basically, what's the
Yeah.
underwriting?
Well, it depends on the answers in the initial application. Yes answers, they might ask for a blood test. They don't ask for a full physical. I've had people that smoke and they want a chest X-ray to see, if it's having any negative effects. But that's about it.
Okay, now he wants to know: can you explain the difference between the peso plan and the dollar plan, just
That
in
would,
general?
to do that properly, it would take me about an hour and a half. But just to give you the highlights, the peso plan has a maximum benefit limit of 5 million pesos, which does a lot here. The U.S. dollar plan it starts at a 500,000 US. Okay.
Wow.
So that's about 30 million pesos now. Now, would you really need that in the Philippines? That's a tough argument to make. You know, if you get something chronic like cancer, where you're being treated over a long period of time with surgeries, radiation treatment, chemotherapy, etc., and you go to St. Luke's, which is for the first class premier hospital here, then you could get up over 200,000 US quite easily.
Okay. Now he wants to know, can you get a policy if you're just over here on a tourist visa, but you're
Yes.
staying, say for
Yes,
instance.
that's one of the main reasons I use Pacific Cross, is they're good with a tourist visa.
Okay, good. That answers your question, Brad. So you don't need all of that.
No.
How much coverage do we need, Mike? Does somebody in general good health like myself and others, how much coverage do we need?
Well, I usually recommend the private plan. A open heart surgery, where you're getting stents and, perhaps a bypass, that's going to run you in the ballpark of 2 million pesos.
10 million. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you want a private plan. You want to be in a private facility. By the way, when you go to a hospital, it's unusual, but it seems as though they run out of the ward in semi-private, and they only have private available when you're a foreigner. So keep that in mind.
Now, what I'm going to do, Jabraz, these are specific questions. We're not going to be able to answer this today. Mike's information is going to be in the description. If y'all want to get down to the nitty gritty and the specifics of what the policy covers and all of that, contact Mike directly, because obviously there probably is going to be some type of deductibles and co-insurance, but that would be something you would want to talk
The
about.
peso plan has no deductible.
Okay.
The US dollar plan has an optional deductible for discounts. For example, a 2,500 deductible on the US dollar plan will give you a 30% discount.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he says, what are the premiums? Well, it all depends, Doubtful Genius. A lot goes into that. Your age, your health, how good of health you're in. Do you have pre-existing conditions or not?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a flat rate, so I really can't answer that intelligently.
He says, is it beneficial to add this policy if you have TRICARE?
Well, that's a tough one, because TRICARE, it covers 75% of your hospital bill, and their hospital network is a little weak, so you'll probably end up paying up front and then chasing your claim.
Okay. Now,
But
Ron,
if you already have it, it's difficult for me to make an argument that you're going to take up a separate policy. It'd be a little redundant.
Okay. Now I can answer this. He says, "Hey Cal, can I have his insurance and still keep my insurance, your Medicare?" Absolutely, because your Medicare is no good over here. That's why you need money when you come to the Philippines. You need to talk to him to get you a policy, because your Medicare is no good. It's not going to affect your coverage over there unless you stop paying the Part B.
Yeah,
which I wouldn't do.
Yeah, guys who have Medicare, they usually offer the peso plan just enough to fix them up and get them on an airplane back home.
Yeah. He says, I would recommend getting coverage to cover the most expensive health situation. Then you should be good. So that would be the dollar.
That's another thing. The small stuff's cheap here. Going to a doctor is maybe $20. You don't cover for that. You cover for the big stuff. That's all you need. Yeah.
Yeah, he said, good morning from the BGC Philippines. He said, great information. Thank you for taking your time to give this to us, Mike. And yeah, I appreciate it too. We're not going to take up a whole lot of your time, but this is one of the most important topics. Of course, we don't talk about enough as bloggers. We only want to talk about, relationships and all that other stuff, cost of living. But that's the number one concern of older people, Mike. I looked it up. It's
Yeah.
health, but we don't do anything about it. They come over here, and just about everybody I talk to um, doesn't have it. And so, I put your information in my description. Just about every video I've got, I put his information in my description, guys. If you're really serious about getting a policy, he's the man to talk to. I met him in person. He came to my meet and greet in Angeles City. I don't know anybody else, Mike, to be honest with you over here. Are you aware of any other foreigner that's offering insurance coverage over here?
Not really.
See, it's very important, man. I bring up, this is straight out of the horse's mouth. This is the guy you're going to deal with. So if you want the policy, you contact him. Okay.
Yeah, and I got to add, I'm going to toot my own horn, but the service here, it leaves a lot to be desired. So does the infrastructure, as you mentioned in your previous video. I have a full-time registered nurse on staff. She deals and interfaces with the hospital, and she keeps it on track. That's essential.
Yeah, he said, can we contact via Facebook on email? What's the name of your Facebook group, Mike?
Well, better just look up Michael Onstad and send me a direct message.
Yeah, you got that.
And my Facebook group is Health Insurance in the Philippines.
Okay, yeah, thank you. He says this insurance valid in Canada.
Well, only 30 days for emergency medical.
Yeah. Is there anybody watching right here, right now, that has dealt with Mike before? I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there, Mike. Did you do anything for Thanksgiving yesterday, Mike?
All right. Well, I'm a Canadian, so I have my I ate my turkey a month ago.
Yeah, he said, is there a policy that's also valid? I asked that. He said it's good for emergency. But
yes, no. The U.S. dollar plan it will cover you for 90 days in Thailand and Vietnam. If you add an extra 20% premium, I can cover you full time in Thailand or Vietnam.
Yeah. Now the Jason effect, he says, I always feared having a big procedure and being held captive in the hospital with a big bill before I can leave. Well, that's probably why you want to have a consultation with Mike. Your consultations are free, right, Mike?
Oh yeah.
Because we worry about this, Jason, but we don't do anything about it. I mean, you will be real surprised at how affordable his plans are. Okay, since one of the expat bros in the Philippines, who is a veteran, he just had a heart attack, flu Manila, no cardiologist that could do the stent procedure. He has to go to Japan. Now, what do you know about that, Mike? You said something about St. Luke being the top hospital.
I can't see that being the case at St. Luke's, and then there's Manila Heart Center. That's another good one.
Yeah, he says no cardiologist. Yeah, that's kind of hard to swallow. Manila, especially.
I've had guys have heart attacks and go to St. Luke's fine, but anyways, it is hit and miss in the Philippines.
Yeah, he says a heart condition's excluded from the plan.
No, they're not. But if you already have one, it's going to be subject to a 12-month waiting period and an additional premium after the waiting period to cover it. And if it's severe, it might be permanently excluded, but we can always submit a trial application and see what the underwriters will do for us. There's no obligation to pursue it if you don't like what they come back with.
Yeah, that's good. I always tell people that, a man's health insurance is cheaper than a woman's health insurance because we don't use the insurance. Why do
Yeah,
you think men don't go to the doctor, Mike? Why don't we
because we're
go?
because we're too proud. We're tough.
Yeah, until we need it. We show
Yeah,
up.
well, yeah, we got to be in pain.
Yeah, we're looking for a miracle, is what I tell guys. Because my father died with great insurance. A lot of men go to their grave with great insurance.
Yeah.
They just don't use it. But to be over here, you probably want to have something, and that's why I bought Mike on. He says, hypothetically, if someone decided to self-insure, what ballpark amount of money should one need to be sitting on, in your personal opinion, to feel comfortable?
Uh, at least 1 million pesos. If 2 million would be more comfortable.
Yeah, that would be some, but yeah, that's pretty good. But imagine if you could get a policy, Passport King, because you're young and you're healthy. See, I'm against self-insurance because it's unnecessary. If you're in good health, why not let the insurance take on that burden instead of you? You need that money to retire on. Enjoy your retirement and go on vacation. What do you think about self-insuring, Mike? What's your opinion on that?
Well, it depends on your position. I mean, if you've got a couple of million that you can lose, fine. Um, but self-insuring for the small stuff, yeah, I definitely recommend it. All you really need is catastrophic coverage here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Thomas, I'm from the insurance business. I'm never gonna. Okay, I was always trained to let the underwriters say no. Don't you say no, because he said those pre-existing conditions are going to exclude lots of guys that are retired over here. Well, you don't
Yeah.
know. You know, you don't know until you fill out the application. See, as an insurance agent, I was an insurance. I'm still an agent. I'm just retired, but I was on the front line for 16 years. If I had this attitude right here, where I'm telling, oh, there's no sense in me going over there. They don't need it, or they're going to get turned down. Man, I'd have been out of the business probably within 6 months. You got to let the underwriters turn you down. Don't turn yourself down.
Just so you know, most of my claims are from accidents here. Guys that
Yeah.
ride around on scooters, yeah, they wipe out constantly. And then dengue fever has been on the rise. Older guys end up in the hospital on an IV drip, and sometimes their white blood cell counts crash, and they need blood transfusions. So
Wow,
that's where it's coming from.
that's a great point you bring up, because I did a live stream on uh, health care and why men die and everything like that. And you bring up a great point. We never even think about accidents. We're always thinking about heart attack, cancer, stroke, when it's accidents that get most of us.
Yeah.
He said, you must also be prepared for unexpected injuries or illnesses. I got bit by a spider, my upper inside thigh swollen up. I was scared, high fever, etc.
Yeah. Yeah. There's different
He
things
said,
out there that we're not used to.
he said, yeah, I never asked two insurance agents about self-insurance. No, but I don't have any skins in the game. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, but we throw away our common sense when we get over here, Mike. We don't use it. A lot of guys, we're so successful in our home countries, but then we come over here, we're dumb as a rock. We act like we don't know nothing. But the one guy asked, what brought you to the Philippines, Michael?
Two divorces.
Now, be honest. Let me ask you this. Be honest. Did the infrastructure ever cross your mind? And we're not talking about hospitals, because people say hospitals, but they never use them. But did you ever think to yourself, well, I'm not going to the Philippines because the infrastructure is not on
No,
high
never
on the
gave it a thought. Never gave it a
Never
thought.
gave it stuff. Thanks, man, for being out. Thanks for being honest. Because guys know they're full of shit when they talk about that. When they start comparing these countries and stuff. You know why you're over here. Like he said, hell, 2 divorces. I don't blame you. He said, "What's up, Cal? Much respect to Mike. I actually looked into this and I found out dealing with the company directly, I saved major money.
No,
This
same
may have
price.
happened because I'm
No,
here," he said.
no, it's the same price. No.
Yeah. What's he talking about dealing with the company directly? He's talking about Pacific Cross.
Yeah, I mean, you can call up their head office and you don't buy it from them directly, but it's the same price.
Yeah, I don't see where it would be different either.
No, it's
I
not.
don't see where that. Why would that be different? They don't. The company pays you, Mike, for going out and get the business. They
Right.
take the hit on that. They don't add on to the price of your client.
No, it's a published rate. It's all the same. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He says, "Have you mentioned the over 68 expat?" Okay, so what is there an age limit? It's a good question.
Well, literally, the age limit's age 100, but you won't like the premium. But
Wow, man, that's pretty damn good though. 100.
yeah, that's another reason I picked it. Expats tend to be older.
Yeah, yeah. Now, what has been your experience? When you talk to expats, their reluctance to purchase a policy. What you typically run into?
Well, they might have so many pre-existing conditions that it's just too messy. You know, that's probably the major one.
A lot
But
of them say self-insure. They use that self-insure as an excuse. That's what
well,
they'll say.
again, if you can handle or lose a couple of million out of your retirement savings without skipping a beat, sure.
Yeah, it's not because I was an insurance agent. It's just because when you think it all the way through, I mean, why wouldn't you just pay the premium every month and let the insurance hold that cost instead of you putting your money on hold, money that you're going to need in your older age, in your retirement. That's why you came over here.
Yeah.
But
And another big plus is the plan. The plans come with an access card, so you can get into the hospital on the cashless basis. If you don't have time to stop at an ATM during a heart attack on the way to the hospital, it's very handy to have it. Now, some guys say, "Oh, I got a credit card." Well, half the time the machine doesn't work.
now let me ask you this. I'm pretty sure you've had some policies turned down. What are they looking for? What's the main reason they're turned down?
Well, terminal cancer. Yeah, that was a problem, but I don't get them. Very rarely is somebody turned down. It's just that the pre-existing conditions are so extensive. All you end up
Yeah.
with is really an accident policy, or a
Wow.
viral and bacterial infection policy.
Now, did
Right?
your policies cover COVID?
Yes.
They did.
Yes.
Okay. Now he says, "What's the address of your office?" What part of you don't have to tell us exactly where you live, but what part of the Philippines do you live, Mike?
I live in La Union province and I work from my home. I have satellite offices and staff in Angeles City, situated at Medical City. That's the major hospital there. And then I have associates in the head office in Manila. But I do everything by internet video call. And I do meet and greets throughout the country once a year just to show I'm alive.
Yeah. Now I got a question about these ambulances. Since I love the Chime brought that up, because every ambulance over here is not equal. Some of them are just
Yeah.
hyped up taxis. Really, they don't do
Yeah.
anything for you. They just transport you to the hospital. Is there any guarantee with your policy that you're going to get an ambulance,
Nope.
a real ambulance?
No. No. There's no guarantees on that in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, you get in a pedicab or you get in a vehicle and you go there yourself. Okay.
Yeah, because I did a video on that a long time ago. Maybe I need to talk about it again because according to the Philippines, only about 1 in 8 or 1 in 9 of those ambulances are real ambulances
Yeah.
that are equipped to kind of, work with you as you're going to the hospital. You know how it is in America. They give you blood, they, got the shot on your chest. None of that
Yeah.
happens.
No,
He said,
no, I got, guys that are, in iffy shape, I always recommend that they invest in a defibrillator, a home defibrillator. You can get one on Lazada for about 120,000 pesos and an oxygen tank. They're cheap with a mask. And
yeah,
you better teach your Asawa how to do a CPR because most of them don't know.
yeah, that's a great question. That's a great statement. He said we all need some type of insurance, but it sounds pretty expensive. Well, your health backs your insurance, Thomas. You don't want to wait until you're old and sick to talk to Mike. You want to talk to him when you're fairly young and you're healthy. You don't have the pre-existing. You don't have the type 2. You don't have the stents and all of that. But we don't do it. We wait till the last minute. There's so many insurance policies, man. People want you to write them life insurance too. When they got 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot slipping. It just doesn't work like that. Insurance companies don't work like that. He says people can do what they want. I always look into anything. I don't know what he's saying. Oh, before I pay anyone. It's not a knock on Mike. Just do your due diligence on everything, especially when it comes to money. Yeah, but you don't understand, man. People don't understand insurance. 53 Shades Dark. I got to push back against that. You would be shocked how little people know about the insurance business. Okay? They know nothing about the effective dates of insurance. They just don't, and they're not going to do that. That's why the insurance companies pay us to go out there and give you the full disclosure. Okay, reading that declaration page, man, you need damn near a college degree. It's not easy, right, Mike? It's not that simple, guys. You know, I got to push back against that, man. I'm an insurance agent. Guys have better degrees. They're much richer than me. But when I sit down at the kitchen table with them, they know nothing about insurance. Absolutely nothing. That's my job.
Yeah, I run into guys that have bought these international policies where they ask 5 questions and they issue the policy and they think they're covered, but they miss the exclusion page.
That's right.
It excludes pre-existing conditions by default.
Your insurance policy is going to be about this thick for real. The ones in America, they got the declaration, the who, what, when, where, why, exclusions, who's covered, who's not, all of that, man. And hell, you didn't even read all the information when you signed up for YouTube and Facebook. You just agreed to it. So you're not going to do it for your insurance policy either. You need somebody like us that's going to sit down and answer your questions, man. You're not going to do it. He said, do these insurance companies provide aftercare? Or is that a separate cost?
Yeah, no, that's something you self-insure for. That's an entirely different item. You can hire a full-time nurse for 10,000 pesos a month.
He says, Harry Shoulder says, maybe Michael knows, is it Medicare or Social Security that sends out the letter checking if you're still alive?
Oh, I Social Security. Yeah.
Yeah, Social Security. He said, I would want coverage that provides for physical therapy post-surgery. Well, that would be a damn good policy because even Medicare limits how much physical therapy post-surgery. That's not unlimited, but that's probably something you'd have to pay out of pocket. I don't think that would be too expensive over here, would it, Mike?
No, it's not. You can hire a nurse for $10,000 a month to live in.
Yeah, yeah. He said, I'm a cancer survivor, so I know my premium would be high. Absolutely.
Only if you wanted coverage for the cancer that you already had.
Yeah.
And that
But
would
I
be a
don't know.
12-month waiting period.
He said, I'm just comparing both quotes, and the one I got from them in the store was not the same. But the same as what? What quote? Did you talk to Mike already? That's just not the case, man. The insurance company doesn't, they don't charge a different price. The actuaries, they've already got that figured out from 0 to 80 or whatever it is, how much the premium is going to be and all that. It's not a difference if an insurance company, if an insurance agent comes and talks to you and signs you up. It's not a different price. He said, this is good information. I'm looking for international insurance for the Philippines. Well, here's the guy right here, guys. Y'all don't understand how busy he is. For him to take 30 minutes out his day and come on here and answer the general questions, okay? But we're not going to do anything about it. I'm saying if you're serious about it, look in the description. His information is going to be there. Also, what is it? Health care insurance or health insurance in the Philippines?
Health insurance in the Philippines.
That's his
It's the
Facebook
Facebook
page.
group, but you look up my name and message me directly. That's much better.
He says, do they sell catastrophic emergency insurance? Anything else?
That's what I do.
Well, that's what he does. And it's hard to fly home if you unconscious, Al.
Yeah.
Remember, I had a guest on here. That was his plan, was to fly to Guam until he couldn't. He was on his back, strapped to the oxygen tanks in the hospital. Okay? It sounds good. He says, how are pre-existing conditions discovered? Well, that's doing underwriting, right, Mike?
Yeah, there will be a 12-month waiting period, and they'll want an extra premium after the 12 months if you opt to cover them.
Yeah, I've got to disagree with you. I'm an insurance agent, man. You know, I'm not saying you're wrong or anything like that, but that's just not right, man. They don't give you one plan because I signed you up and one because you went yourself. I'm just telling you that's not how it works.
No.
I'm sorry, it don't work like that, man. He said some of these hospitals don't take track care, and if I have a heart attack over here, I'm pretty screwed anyway. Well, I think that's something we need to do before we come here. See, that's doing your due diligence. If you know that I've got track care and that's the insurance I've got, then I need to be somewhere where track care is accepted. Is there places here where it's accepted, Mike?
TRICARE?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, I've had expats tell me that their network is not that great, but I haven't done an analysis of what hospitals they cover and which they don't. I don't know, but I just know that it falls short. Pacific Cross definitely has the most extensive network.
Can you put your email up there? But like I told you, Anthony, all you have to do, look in any of my videos. Look in the video I did today, Anthony. Look in the description. All his information's in there already. Okay. For the last so many videos that I've done, probably the last 2 months, if you want his information. But do you got an email you can tell him right now, Mike?
It's a long one.
Yeah, it's in my description, Anthony.
Yeah,
Jacob Tanjay, put my email up here and I'll give him Mike's information. Put my email up here for him, Jacob. He said, contact the VFW in the Philippines for track care coverage. But if you're young and you're fairly healthy, this is the time to get your insurance. Okay, don't wait until you have cancer or you had a heart attack or you've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and all that stuff. Do it now because they can't go back. Once they um, approve your policy, they can't go back once
No,
you have that, right, Mike?
that's right.
What else do? Okay, here's my email, Anthony Tucker. If you want Mike's information, and I'll give it to you, but it's always in my description. Is there anything else you think they need to know, Mike, before I let you go? Because I know you're busy, man. I don't want you.
Well, I'll reiterate the service levels in the Philippines, as you know, are not very good. And I've spent the last 4 years building a service office, and it complements Pacific Cross. I do not recommend you go direct.
Yeah, I don't blame you because who you gonna call when you got a problem? You're gonna call their office, and you're gonna get that.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
what. Yeah, see, that's what separated me from my competition was my customer service.
Yeah, that's what it's
You
all
know,
about here.
that's what it's all about. When people got a problem, they want to know they got somebody they can call and go
Yeah,
answer that phone.
yeah.
Okay. Now you go down there. He's right about the Philippines. You go down there and get that policy, and it's the same policy Mike sold me. But then you got a problem. That's when it differs now.
Yeah.
Okay, because you're not going to get any help, man. I promise you that.
I've got a lot of great reviews in my Facebook group if you want to check them out.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't bring you on here, man. I don't bring clowns on my channel. If you're not legit, I don't bring you on here. I would never ask you to come on my channel, but I know you are the man here when it comes to insurance. Period. End of story. If you're serious about getting health insurance, I don't work for Mike. I mean, I'm just telling you, this is the man to see. But if you're not, if you just want to waste your time, you know, go somewhere else. But thank you, Mike, for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. Just a
I
little
appreciate the
information.
invite.
Look in my descriptions, in my videos. I'll put it on there after this. It'll be on this live stream after. I'll put his information. But any video I've done, look in the description. All his information is there. But thanks, Mike. I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna let you go. I
No.
know you got your
All
family
right.
and everything. Are you married to a Filipino, by the way?
Yeah. Yeah. I got a 7-year-old daughter. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah,
One more
that's the
run.
only infrastructure we're worried about.
This is my last shot. I either make it to the grave or I become a rabid alcoholic if she divorces me.
That's right. Now, he says if you're over 70, well, like I said, let the underwriters determine that. Okay. But take care, Mike. I appreciate
Okay,
it, man.
870, 1.5 million coverage is 100,000 pesos a year. That's just off the top of my head.
Wow. So that's only
So,
about what? $160 a month. Something like that.
yeah, yeah.
Something like that, about 165 a month. That's not bad.
Yeah.
But okay, guys, his information is going to be in the description. And if you want to reach out to me, I'll give you his information. But this is the guy, if you're really serious about it. If not, you can go down there yourself. But when you got problems, that's not the time to call Mike.
Oh, and if you make
Okay?
that mistake and you find out what we're telling you is accurate, I got your back. Okay.
He's still going to help you. He's still going
Yeah.
to help you.
Yeah.
But take
But
care, Mike.
but you have to renew with me. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Because I'm retired.
Yeah.
You can't, you got to respect his time. But okay, take
All
care,
right.
Mike.
Take care. Thanks.
All right. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, he's out of here. Yeah, see, that's great information, man. That's a free consultation he's going to give you. I was asking him questions because I know the type of questions that people want to know. How, when is that policy going to become effective? 30 days? That's damn good, man. But emergencies and stuff is effective immediately. But all that other stuff, 30 days is nothing, man. And even if you got a serious illness and they, pre-existing and they say a year, it's going to go by like nothing. Hey, James, thank you. He said happy Thanksgiving. But, health is our number one concern. Just because you don't see bloggers talking about it and all of that, it's our number one concern. It's your number one concern. The guy, Jason, came on and said, that's my biggest fear. Having catastrophic illness or something and being held captive in one of these hospitals. Well, do something about it, guys. See, there it is. I mean, do something about it. See, when y'all talk about cost of living and budgets, you very seldom hear a guy say anything about his health care insurance because he don't got it. He says, even if you are retired military, don't forget to buy the travel insurance the airlines offer. It's additional coverage if you're there for a short time. I always suggest, man, you got to check that box. You got to check that box, guys. Pay that little extra $50 or $60 or whatever it is. Thank me now. Okay? Do that. Don't be that cheap. That's the one thing about COVID that I agreed with. When you were traveling, they were making you check that box. Okay? He said, it is, no, probably, Jason. It is the number one concern, but we don't prioritize it. We prioritize the woman. She can't help you unless she's a damn doctor or nurse. Okay, and then she still ain't gonna be able to help you. She can help you get to the hospital or something like that. But we prioritize the woman first in the finances. Health is way down there in the priority. Because if I took a survey, which I'm not going to do it, because I'm not on here to embarrass anybody. If I told everybody, if you don't have health insurance and you over in the Philippines, put one. I'm talking about valid health coverage. I'm not saying, oh, I got VA. Well, St. Carlos Doctors Hospital don't take the VA. You'll be shocked. Okay, we come over here on the I hope I don't get sick plan. That's what most of us are operating on. I hope I don't get sick. I hope I'm not in an accident. We don't look at accidents. That's what gets us. Look at the top killers of men. Accidents is way up there. For men 30 to 44, it is the number one cause of death. Yeah, I just thought I'd bring Mike on here just to kind of shake it up a little bit and get people to thinking. At least have the damn travel insurance. He says, I'll be in the Philippines again December 6th to January 5th. I'm down for some panda sal and sardines. LOL. Do you eat panda sal? Absolutely. Remember I did the 10 businesses under 1,000? Right up here on the corner, they got a little mobile bakery. And it makes hot bread, man. I mean, on the spot. And it's panda sal. He said that's one of my favorite breakfast foods, from Pandy, Manila. He said some of these guys are down on top of these women. Absolutely. Okay. Widow makers. Go back in my library. I did Philippines are widow makers. And I tell the story about the guy who came over. He probably knew he had, well, I don't know. I'm just saying he probably knew he had health problems. But he's 57. The girl was 21. And she showed the progression. When he came over here, she showed him getting married after when they back at the hotel. And then the next picture, he was on the slab in the morgue. He died of a heart attack making love to her. And she was asking for help, getting him cremated and everything. He says age 76 to 80 starts at 100,000 pesos per year, which is so reasonable, man. It's not even worth talking about because if you're 76 to 80 even if you're in good health in America, it's probably going to be, hell, 1,000 a month. But yeah, they want that hope and pray plan. He said hope is not a strategy. But you'll be shocked. Okay, we spend all this money on houses, lots, motorcycles, cars, but don't have insurance. No, we need it. No, we need it. But we won't buy it. He said, Panda Sal's off the chain, bro. He said, I just ate a slice of banana bread. The only thing I said to myself is that this is dangerous. Man, I love banana bread, but I love it too much. See, I put down the cakes, but that banana bread used to be my favorite, man. It's so good, man. When it's moist, yeah, Mike, he said health should be your number one concern. Without good health, your $1 million bank account don't mean anything. We're always saying, how much money do I need to live in the Philippines? When you should be saying, well, how much health do I need? If I'm not in good shape, man, I'm not coming to the Philippines because I'm not going to be able to enjoy it. I mean, I'm just not. And I'm not going to throw my common sense out the window. I know that I can get better coverage in my country if I've suffered a stroke or a massive heart attack or something like that. I really don't need to be over here playing. Hey, Marlon, thanks for that super chat. He said, what's your favorite holiday, sir? Probably a toss up between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Only for my kids, though. And being around family and stuff like that. It just, it just puts you in a different state of mind. It's like, man, I wish I could have the state of mind the whole year. With the music playing and everybody's around. He said having a rotisserie chicken. I love that rotisserie chicken, man. But what I do, 53 Shades Darker, I bring man home and have Marilyn put it in the air fryer because I want to make sure it's cooked all the way. And you talking about delicious, man? Hey, Confident Boy Speaks, thanks for that super chat. He says, pouring heavily here in Northeast Mindanao. So I've been staying indoors and saving quite a bit of money in the process. The rain definitely has its perks. Well, that's what was going on with me with COVID. When you couldn't come outside, man, I was only earning about 1,400. My renewals had went down to about 1,400. Hell, I was taking care of 6 people and still had money left at the end of the month. But you should be able to save money here anyway, Confident Voice Speaks, because most of the time you're going to spend it at home. You're not going to be ripping and running every damn day. Hell, we went to Bacala for 4 nights. Out of the whole month, that's it. I'm at home now. I don't know what guys are spending their money on. I'm like, well, why are you spending so much money over here? What are you doing? What are you buying? That you need $3,500 and $4,000 a month and all of that. But it rained here last night. It kept on raining off and on the whole night. But nothing serious. Nothing serious at all. But I was glad Mike Onstad, see, he's honest. Insurance agents, we got a reputation, which that was way back then. But when I asked him about the infrastructure, see, I only made that video because I talked to the guy in Bacala. And I just asked him, this guy's living the best life you could possibly live in the Philippines. And I was like, well, why do people always talk about the infrastructure then? He said, I don't know where that comes from, Cal. And I don't either, because I never heard anybody talk about the infrastructure until after the fact. And then when I look at the list, because go watch the video in the description, you're going to see the list from World Review of the top 67 infrastructures. And the places we go to as men and sex pets, you know, look, chasing the booty, all of them is way down there the list. So to have this infrastructure discussion, man, it's weak, man. It makes us look real weak because you don't know what you're talking about. Now, the guy got on here and pushed back, and, oh, you don't know anything about Mexico. Dude, the Philippines is 61st on that list. Mexico is 62. The point I'm making is we don't go to Mexico for the infrastructure. And he started naming different cities. Well, infrastructure is different in each city. In these, even in America, you got some places that got better infrastructure than others. But it still don't change the narrative. You're not going there for the infrastructure, man. DR is not even on the list now. Okay, let that marinate. When they always want to bring up that infrastructure, y'all crazy. I already paid him. Yeah, he's already here and gone. Luckily, I had the money. I mean, the change. It was 11.46. Yeah, how am I gonna read it? I didn't give him a tip. I didn't have any change. Did you see that in there? It's nothing but in there. I was lucky I had the exact change. We'll give it. We'll get him. We'll get him. Just tell him. We'll get him. Hey, Kevin Strong, thanks for that super chat. He said this should be a major concern. Do you have access to quality, affordable health care? Having a health care plan means nothing if you have to wait 4 to 6 months to see a specialist. Typical in the USA. Yeah. But see, here's the thing, Kevin. As men, I'm an insurance agent. I'm retired, yeah, but I know what I'm talking about. We always worried about whether or not we got coverage, but we don't use it. We don't use it, man. Most of us die with great health insurance coverage from these companies, from the military. You heard Mike say it. We're tough. I can handle it. You know, I ain't gonna be going to that doctor, wasting my time sitting in that waiting room. The only time we go is when you have to go. When that ambulance is out front, or the pain is so severe you can't take it. Well, it's too late. That's what happened to my father. He waited. Finally went there and was diagnosed with liver problems. I mean, anything less than a liver transplant, which his black ass wasn't going to be nowhere on the top of the list. He's way down there, and he died. Had he went earlier when he first got the signs of liver problems, they could have helped him. He said, I'm a young man at 33. Thanks to Big Bro Cal, I feel the call to drop the sweets. Thanks to this community, I have a roadmap to Southeast Asia. I visited Taiwan in 2023, and I'm sold. Hey, thank you. You know, a long-time follower, man. I don't know if he's still in the Philippines or not. He bought a beautiful home over here, but that was his first, selection. His first choice was Taiwan. He said, but the visa situation was so screwed up. He said he didn't want to be, moving every 30 days. But he was talking about the cost of living, the food, everything. He said, Cal, trust me on this. Taiwan is a place. Yeah, me too, Mike. He said the biggest expense for me in the Philippines is traveling and eating out. But where did this infrastructure argument, guys? Y'all need to help me because where did it come from? I've never heard it. I mean, my whole life traveling. Before I got on the YouTube, I'm like, nobody goes there for the infrastructure, man. Like, now they've made it an issue when it's a non-issue. Thailand, okay, look in my description of the video today that I made, Harry. I said I hadn't put it in this one yet. This is a live stream. But all of my videos from today on back, look at it. It's in there. Trust me. Look in the description. Get out of here. Trust me, it's in there. If you need it, send me an email. I'll give you his information. Yeah, he said, why would somebody want to buy insurance directly from an insurance company instead of from an agent who understands you and your background and can better guide you? Yeah, in your decision. Absolutely. People don't know anything about insurance. You just don't go in there unless you're an insurance agent. What would you know what to buy? Which policy would you know to buy? That's all I'm saying. But it's their money. It's for people who want to be the smartest person in the room, basically. I don't know if anybody, okay, you see, we come from America, though, where you can, what's that, Globe Insurance? You can do all this stuff over, through the mail. But then you really don't know what you're going to get because they send you the policy back and you don't read it. So you think you're covered when in fact you're not. The big thing about insurance and really anything is if you've got good customer service. Can somebody help me with my claims? Can somebody answer my questions? Because you're going to have questions. And you don't know if you go straight to the company, guess what? Nobody can sell you a policy unless they're an insurance agent. So you're talking to an insurance agent there at the company. Do you think they can just sign you up without being an insurance agent? Well, what kind of crazy company is that? If you go to any insurance company and you want to fill out a policy there, the person who's helping you is an agent and answering your question. Hey, the photo op, thanks for that super chat. He says, what's up, crew? He said, how long is Mike? He said, 45 years. He said, I had great insurance at the phone company, but never got a physical. And scratch my helping head. Yeah, men, we don't go, guys. That's why your health insurance is so much cheaper than a woman. A woman's going to use it, even if it's just to go have a baby. They use their insurance. We don't. But our life insurance, and that's why our life insurance is more expensive because we die sooner. So one leads into the other. Yeah, Mike can cut through the red tape. He will be worth his weight in gold. See, when you come from America, okay, when I was little and the insurance guys, they were shady, man. But now all that's changed. They got laws in place. We got to carry E&O insurance. Insurance agent can be sued, not just the company, the agent. You come over there and sell me some insurance and you didn't give me full disclosure and everything like that, I'm going to file a claim against you. So I had to carry $3 million aggregate insurance. It's different, man. But we don't trust insurance agents. So, I'm going to go straight to the company. Okay. Well, you see what kind of customer service you get. And you're not going to use it anyway. If you're a man, you're not going to use it unless you're sick. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you, Jabraz, for this. And this is all I was saying about you guys out there talking about self-insurance. He says, I work for an insurance company. I've seen some ridiculous claim amounts. Why not get insurance? The premium is much cheaper than in the U.S. Even though the Philippines is cheaper, hospitals get expensive quick. It's right. Let the insurance company carry that burden, not you. But that's just an excuse not to get it. Because you don't need insurance until you need it. Okay? How would you know how much insurance you're going to need? How much money you're going to need, brother, for your illness or injury? Because you can't pick your accident or illness or injury. It'd be different, okay, in 6 months I'm going to have an accident on the motorcycle. I better put 10,000 away for that. You don't have that option, guys, okay? Most of the time it's mostly severe. By the time it happens, it's severe. You see my buddy Sam Champion. No signs. I used to chat with him FaceTime. No signs of sickness or anything, bad health or anything. Then boom, all those years it's adding up, adding up. Man had a massive stroke. I mean, I just can't believe it. But I knew something was wrong because I didn't hear from him. I started overthinking it. I'm thinking, well, maybe I said something on here, but Sam's not that petty. If I would have said something, he would have contacted me. So his wife contacts me almost a year later, and he's still in bad shape. Mark Mack, what's up? It's a great topic on health insurance, Brother Cal. We never think it can happen to us. Just got my annual physical done here in Vegas. Grateful. Yeah, if you're working on that hamster wheel and you got good group insurance, use it, man. Go to see your doctor. They suggest every 3 months because that way he can see, he's trained. He can see the illness are coming. When my mother showed up in the emergency room, hey, Roger, so you on your way over here now, over this way. When my mother showed up in the emergency room, she already had stage 4 cancer. She didn't know it. So they, you know, admitted her and did all the tests. 9 days later, my mother was dead. My mother had those symptoms, man. She was trying everything over the counter. We're thinking, because my mother was 5'2", 110 pounds, soaking wet, thin woman. But her face got puffy, and we thought it was allergies or something. No, it was stage 4 cancer. Yeah. He says, yeah, you can get a policy online, but best to talk to an agent so you don't overinsure or underinsure. And when you're talking about buying insurance over here, man, or anything over here, and you got to go straight to the source over here in the Philippines, I'm saying, there's going to be a misunderstanding every single time, no matter what it is. It can be something so simple, okay? Because first of all, they're not going to understand you 100%. It was just something, I'm trying to give you an example because it just happened with me and Merlin here, and something the lady didn't. I'm trying to think what she didn't do. I just kept asking the lady to do it. She still didn't do it, and that's what I'm saying. So when you go there and they're gonna shake their head, yeah, like they know what you're talking about, and everything's okay until it's not. You get home and you be like, well, this is not what I wanted. He said, help is like the unspoken agreement. You take care of your body, it'll take care of you. Yeah, but going to the hospital makes it cringy. That's a good analogy. We don't want to take the time to go to the doctor. It's an inconvenience. Oh, we heard so much about the hospital food and the beds are uncomfortable. We think like that. Okay. When I stopped smoking 25 years ago, okay, I was a late smoker anyway. I didn't pick up a cigarette till I was 30. Well, anyway, the doctor said, I was like, well, what's the best thing? He said, the best thing to do is quit cold turkey and just go through whatever you got to go through. In 3 or 4 days, you're going to be fine. I said, why don't most people stop smoking then? He said, because they're afraid of gaining weight and all of that, right? That's the number one reason people don't want to quit smoking. They're afraid they're going to gain weight. And then two is the withdrawal symptom. He said they're more afraid of that than dying from smoking. This is the way we think. Because he smoked for 30 years. Okay? And he quit cold turkey. I only smoked for 9 years. He said, I see my doctor 2 to 3 times per year. I hate those prostate exams, but they're necessary. Now, somebody said those aren't, the digital exams aren't necessary anymore. Well, I don't know why he would stick his hand in your butt every 2 to 3 months, though. I mean, every 3 to 4 months. You better get another doctor, Jabraz. Yeah, he said years later, I wound up having stage 3 rectal cancer. Guys, go get yourself checked out, please. Wow. I know you were scared, but they called it in time. He said that's the reason why the insurance companies have insurance salesmen who know the ins and outs about the type of insurance that you really need. Simple as that. Yeah, it'd be like me telling the doctor, oh, that's okay, doctor. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to do the operation at home because it's cheaper. Okay? That's what you're doing when you try to, circumvent the insurance guy because you think he's going to earn a few dollars. You telling the doctor, okay, that's okay. I'm going to do the prostate surgery on myself. It's cheaper. That's what you're saying. Okay? I know it sounds extreme, but it's not. You're going to fuck around and buy the wrong insurance. You're going to get charged too much or whatever it is. You're going to do something wrong. Trust me. My phone, when people called me, it was always a question. Very seldom did somebody call me as a referral and say, hey, I need you to come over. It was usually a question of some problem they ran into. He said, show some love, guys. Thumbs up. Yeah, but we're going to do the blood work ourselves, Thomas, because I can do it cheaper. I'm going to run the risk of dying because I want to save a few dollars. Don't do that, guys, especially not for insurance. Hey, what's up, Juice? Thank you. He said, oh, you're an insurance guy who was a big success. How come you're not selling insurance in the field? Because I'm not working and I don't have a license over here. Okay? It was insurance that burned me out, Rashard. Dealing with people on a daily basis like that. Why would I want to sell insurance over here? I'm retired. And the commission is nothing over here. Okay? If I'm going to sell insurance, I'm going to sell it in America where I can earn some big money for it. Where people know me over there. I've already got an established reputation. Why would I come over here and start all over from the ground up, convincing you guys? See, I never talk to men anyway. Most of the people I talk to are women. They can reason. Okay? Most men are unreasonable when it comes to insurance and stuff like that. I'm wasting my money. I'm going to self-insure. Oh, you're putting bad luck on me and all that stuff. I'm like, dude, where's your wife? Let me talk to the wife, the real head of the house. Okay, I ain't got time. Okay, he said, just get on the plane in Atlanta. I know you're excited, man. Well, see, I'm grandfathered in to the field health. Okay, that I got when I was with my wife. It's 17,000 pesos a month. It really don't cover anything, but I'm in good shape. So if I have to go into a hospital, just take me to the city hospital where it's accepted. But I'm going to get with Mike eventually. I was going to get with him when he came to my meet and greet, but I thought I was going home. And when I didn't go home, because he got a good policy for me, I believe he quoted me 1,000,000 pesos, but it's changed now. I think it's 5 million. But at that time it was 1,000,000, and I want to say it was 26,000 pesos a year, and I was approved. Okay, that's why I'm telling you guys. I'm not trying to. I don't work for Mike. I'm telling you from experience. Most of my videos are about me. If you want insurance coverage, you get it now when you're in, you know, good health and a reasonable age, and then you won't pay so much, and it's already taken care of. Hey, thank you, Carl. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate your support. Yeah, yeah, we are. I mean, but we like he says, our ego, we're tough. We always skeptical. Always, why do you think you don't see women on YouTube making videos about scammers and stuff? And everybody's a scammer. It's always the men, mostly trolling. It can't be what it is. It's always it's got to be something else. He's doing something. He's not really living over there like that. He's not telling you the truth. I'm going to expose him. It's always men doing that. You never see women doing that. They take you, you know, on your word and then let you prove yourself to be otherwise. It's men. That's the way we're wired. We take better care of our cars than we take care of ourselves. Man, if you bump up against somebody's car, that's a sure fight. As if you're lucky, it's a fight. More likely, they're going to shoot you. Don't step on somebody's shoes out of, by accident. This is the way we think, but we won't go to the doctor. It's too late. He said, once you have a massive stroke, most of the time you don't ever get better. It's been a year for Sam Champion. He can't walk or talk. His wife takes care of him around the clock. He got a good wife, man. You know, he said, yeah, he's using P. Diddy's doctor. I'm like, damn, man, because I don't think you're supposed to get that digital exam 2 to 3 times a year, man. Like, who is your doctor? Is it P. Diddy? They letting him out to give you an exam? Because you're not supposed to get that every time you go to the doctor. I'm sorry, man. You need to get another doctor. Yeah, he said the blood test, yeah, is more prevalent now. He said Dr. Diddler. I'm like, hold on now, something ain't right, man. If every time I come to your office, you want to stick your hand in my butt. He said, I told my doctor, damn, you got some big ass knuckles. But honestly, man, I'm not gonna lie. The guy, they put the glove on, then they put the lubricant, and then they tell you, just brace for the, they'll tell you all the way till it's in there. Get ready, here I go. He said, Cal, why don't you do your screams from the guest room? Looks like Maryland's going to KO you now. Maryland understands me now. See, it used to be, uh, she would get mad when she hear me talking about, stuff that I talk about on here, but now she knows I'm telling the truth. If you only knew some of the stories Maryland told me, I never disclosed them though, because, it's not about my viewers. But that's why she doesn't get mad at me when she hears me talking, because she knows I'm telling the truth. You hear some crazy stuff, man. These women over here, man, some of them I'm saying. Majority of them are not, but the ones we deal with, some of the women we deal with, man, they're shady, man. They look innocent, but they're not. They do some crazy stuff, man. They be dealing with other men behind your back. You don't even know it. You think you're the only one. They got other men sending them money. They done been with other men. You have no idea because y'all won't listen. We're men. We know everything. I ain't such that shows. I ain't listening to him. I ain't listening to Jabraz. He don't know what he's talking about. A lot of times we do, man. Okay. He said, I see my doctor 2 to 3 times a year, but the prostate is annual. He said the PSA or blood work isn't enough. You need to have the exam. The PSA may not catch it until it's too late. Yeah. But the way you said it, Jabraz, it made it look like you was like, damn, I'm getting tired of them, that finger or whatever it is. Hey, Dylan. Hey, welcome back, man. Yeah, I'm just saying, uh, I don't know. You got a different situation, he said, no one's saying that. I said compare quotes from him and what they say at the office. But what we're trying to tell you is we don't know why they gave you a different price. There is no different price. And you got to understand that the people you're dealing with at the office, they're insurance people. Okay? He's saying it's best to deal with him. It's gonna cost you the same, but when you got a problem, you can call him. You already know 53 Shades Darker, man. You live here. You already know the customer service is lacking over here compared to what we're used to. Okay? Do you realize, man? That's why I hurried up and paid that man for that gas sewer. You know how long we've been trying to get that damn thing replaced? Why don't they check up on us and say, okay, now they should have records. See, here's the receipt. It's got the date on here, and probably the last time we bought got a date on it. Don't you think they should say, okay, every 21 days they need a gas oil? Let me call them. You think that happens over here? It doesn't. You don't have that type of help. I mean, of customer service here. So if you want to go in there and do that, go ahead. But like I said, it's the same as giving yourself a prostate surgery. Let me cut my own prostate out. Insurance is nothing to play with. I'm not saying I'm retired. I don't care. But you're not going to get a different premium. That's not the way they do it. Actuarials already make up the premium charts, man. They already know what they're going to charge you based on your age, your pre-existing conditions, your health condition, and all of that. Yeah, we do have trust issues, major trust issues. This is the problem. And it costs us. It costs us in premiums. Don't you know a lot of people, man, they don't even want to do business with me in America. I'm talking about when I was rolling. I'm at the top of my game because they knew I'm going to get a commission. This is how we act toward each other. This is how me and act toward each other, even in the Philippines, same way. I'm not going to click on his, I'm not going to send him a super chat. I'm not going to click on his video. I'm not going to come to his meet and greet. He said, they have great hospitals in Davao, Cal. That's one great thing I like about Davao. Well, you know, when I looked up the top hospitals in the Philippines, Davao was in one hospital in Davao was in the top 5. Okay. But it's not going to do us any good if we're not taking care of ourselves. See, this is the problem. It's not the hospital. You can't, okay, when John showed up, it was really, he really needed some damn good doctors by the time he showed up at that emergency room with a heart attack. Okay. But you have a previous heart attack already, John. Now you're smoking like a broke stove. You're drinking like a fish every single day. I promise you, I asked him one time, I said, John, are you trying to commit suicide? What are you doing, man? See? So when it was time for him to show up, he needed a miracle. And it didn't happen. That's what we're operating on over here, hope and a prayer, like I love the John said. And that's the problem. There's good health coverage here. There's good hospitals here. But how well are you taking care of yourself? How much water are you drinking? How many steps you walking? He says, true, brother, we'll pay for synthetic oil, but not organic food. Yeah. How much fruits and vegetables? We know what to do. We just don't do it. We know exactly what to do. We're too mentally lazy to do it. We'll wait till the last minute. He said the apple a day plan. Even that. But see, what we'll do is we'll come up with all, yeah, let's let that go, 53 Shades Darker, because you're missing the point. I'm just going to tell you that it shouldn't be. I would question the insurance company, not Mike. I would say, well, why is he quoted me this? Why would he quote you differently if the parameters are the same? If your demographics aren't any different? You're 5'11", 200, you're 53 years old, you're in good shape. Why would his price be different than the actual insurance company that he's going through who's offering the insurance? Why? The company pays him. You don't pay him. The company pays him to go out and get clients. This is what you don't understand. There is no different price. I don't know why you got a different price. Okay? Maybe because you're in the Philippines. I don't know. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. I don't know. Maybe the policy that you signed up at the office was not the same policy. But it is no different price, man. You're wrong about this. Now, just because it happened to you over here, I wouldn't put that past them. It could be right, but it's no different, man. Except you're going to get better customer service. Yeah, see, he doesn't really know. I'm telling you right now, but I don't know about insurance in the Philippines. Okay? But the principle of insurance doesn't change worldwide. They're not going to up the cost of your plan just because you're seeing a insurance agent. It doesn't work like that. They don't have two sets of tables. One, if you go to the office yourself, and one, if the agent comes out to your house and gives you a quote. He's getting that quote from the same table that the insurance company has at their office. 53 Shades Darker. I don't know why your quote was different. Something got disconnected somewhere along the way. He said, yeah. He said, we need a deeper breakdown of the infrastructure. You know, Malaysia has the top infrastructure in Southeast Asia. Did y'all know that? Believe it or not, Vietnam's not even on the list. Okay, Cambodia, they're not on the list. The Philippines made the list. That tells you something. But you can throw all that out the window, guys. You know that that's not the reason you're here. It's never been the reason why you pick a vacation spot or something like that. That argument is so ridiculous that I won't have it anymore. I wanted to make the video today just to show you how ridiculous it is and then to back it up with some facts. The DR didn't make the list. And you know that's a fun spot. Okay? Yeah, that's a fun spot. But Thailand is way down there, 44. But it's supposed to be a utopia. Let you guys tell it. Y'all don't know nothing. You're not used to nothing. You never been anywhere. There's a reason Thailand has all those restaurants and all that stuff. They built that over the years to make that place a more attractive tourist spot. So if you got 49 million people coming in there, you better have enough women, okay, enough bars and everything, or they're not coming back. The Philippines is getting 8 million. At their height, they're getting 8 million. He said in the US, just go to the ER. Like if you want to get some tests on your heart, just go and complain about chest pains, you will get your test. Yeah, but see, that's what's driving up the cost of healthcare, Lawrence, because people are doing that. People who don't have insurance. See, I was listening to a great conversation on what's the guy's name? On his show. He was talking to that damn PBD, Patrick Bet David. I say I have respect for him, man. He's dumb as a rock. He knows absolutely nothing. He's in the insurance business. He just got a lot of money, man. He's one of them Andrew Tate guys. But Andrew Tate is smarter than him. He really don't know anything. Well, anyway, they were talking about taxes. And he asked the guy, he said, well, how much tax are you comfortable with? He said, I don't mind paying taxes. It's what I'm getting for my taxes. He says, I'll pay 40% if I'm getting free health care and free college tuition for my kids. But we're not getting that. He said the United States is the only modernized country, industrialized country, who doesn't offer free health care to their residents. But yet we've got the highest tax rate. We're getting really nothing for our taxes, really. And everything that we are getting, Patrick Bet David, he don't know what he's talking about. He's saying that it's bad. I'm like, so what do you want our money to go toward? Okay, the military industrial complex gets 55 cents of every dollar. So you would rather us send 100 billion to Israel, okay, than to what with the student loans, than to allow people to say, okay, to wipe away the student loans or whatever it is. He said, I don't have a problem with the taxes. He said, I have a problem with what we're getting back in taxes. But this is one of the reasons. We don't have a tax. I mean, we don't have a healthcare plan in America. We should have, with all the money we're paying. It's a great discussion. Of course, that's not my arena, but it is. He said, yeah, Lawrence. He said, you also get that ER bill. You're damn right. But no, it's not gold. This is what's driving healthcare up in America. It's already too high. Yeah, there was something like that. I won't argue about it. I know what I'm talking about. Something was off. Something was different because they're using the same table. Maybe Mike made a mistake. I don't know. But they use the same table, okay? I owned an insurance agency, man, for years. And I represented several companies. And whatever they got on there is what I went with. Okay, a lot of the companies, you couldn't even go into the office and get it. And if you did, the people you're talking to are insurance agents. You cannot sell insurance without a license. Now, is it like that over here? I don't know. I don't know what the laws are in the Philippines. Hey, what's up, Alex? He said, Mr. Cal, living the dream. Yeah, man, I tell people all the time, my dreams are no longer dreams anymore. And that's what I say to my listeners. My dreams are no longer dreams anymore. He said the guy's a con artist. Well, hell, you talking about Andrew Tate, right? Well, he's just a social media star, that's all, with a big following. He got super rich and he got too influential. And when you get too influential like that, they're coming for you, and that's what they did to him. He had too much control over this next generation of young men. They said, we got to get rid of him. He already told you what's going to happen. He said, they're going to try to lock me up, and if that don't work, then they're going to try to kill me. But we're skeptical. We're somebody true, you can true. So they got you you in that time. That the you you want back you stand your you're not complaining here. You just you damn right you want somebody you can absolutely call to and have a conversation with who's going to understand your needs and wants. You're not going to get that going straight into that office. Colonoscopy. He said, what's the deal with rectal cancer? I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think, what's the woman died, Farrah Fawcett Majors died of rectal cancer. Yeah, we're living on a prayer. Yeah, just let that go, man, because, so did you get the insurance? I hope you did. And I hope you don't ever need it. But if you do, he said you can still call him. He said the uptick in cancer, well, all cancer's up. The latest research says 1 in 3 Americans will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. That's scary, man. It's crazy. But it's not unreal when you think about it. 1 in 3, 1, 2, you're gonna have it. 1, 2, you're gonna be diagnosed with it. Just in my family, okay, my mother died of lung cancer. I had a sister that had lymphoma, and then a brother that had throat cancer. Just in my family. Now, fortunately, they caught my sister and brother early enough. My brother, being a veteran, he's going to VA. And my sister, you see the woman, they go to the doctor. But just in my family, okay, you got to realize it's 9 children, okay, and my mother and father. So 3 out of 11 people in my family. That's like 1 in 4. Less than 1 in 4. Yeah, he says, as nice as Filipino people can be, but when it comes to customer service in the Philippines, they're the worst. It's because they got a different culture. And they're not going to really understand you. You're going to be upset. They're going to think, oh, this guy, he's arguing with me, screaming and hollering. When you're panicking, you want to know, hey, where's my refund? Or whatever it is. I just got a bill. I thought you're supposed to bill the hospital for that or whatever it was. Yeah, it is, man. This is the point I'm trying to make, Dylan. Insurance is not something where you go in there and buy a television. Like we had to go and buy some new microphones for the karaoke. Angelo, we got good microphones now. It's not like that, and they test it out and everything, and you're saying it's not that simple, man. It's very complicated. That's why you need a license to sell insurance. You know, you didn't even read the fine print when you signed up for YouTube or Facebook. We don't do it, guys. We don't do it. You don't know what you signed up for on YouTube and Facebook and any other thing. on your email, Yahoo and Gmail and all that. You just check the box. I agree to that because I don't want to read all that stuff. It's the same with insurance. If you don't do that, I'll be very doubtful that you're reading that insurance policy all the way through. You're not. But it's good to know that there's somebody who's being paid to do that for you. But most of us, we don't even put our insurance agents' feet to the fire. If somebody sells you a policy, look, man, you need to come over here. I got my policy. You need to come over here and explain this policy to me. What I need to know. What's inclusion, exclusion? What's the declaration page? What's all of that? What about my beneficiaries and all of that? You don't even look on there to make sure all your information's right. Man, don't mess around with that stuff on your own, man. Y'all don't know what you're doing. You are what you eat. He says, I consider getting that Thailand add-on to the policy. They have multiple world-class hospitals. Okay, but here's what I'm saying. What good is a good hospital going to do you if you don't use it, Jabraz? This is the problem. This is the problem with men. There's a reason we're dying earlier than women. Other than fighting wars and, the hunter-gatherer days where we got to do all the hard work, but we don't go to the doctor. This is a fact. The insurance companies know this. They got something called the table of large numbers. They just don't come up with these numbers off the top of their head. This is years and years and years and years of research. They know how many people that are age zero. They don't, I mean, babies who haven't reached 1 year old is going to die every year. And 80-year-olds the same way, man. They got it down to a science. Your health insurance is cheaper because you don't use it. But your life insurance is more expensive because you're going to die sooner because you don't take care of yourself. Unless you live inside of a hospital, having world-class hospitals next to you is not going to do you any good if you don't use it. I know what I'm talking about, man. We die with great insurance. So all that stuff is just another thing to compare Thailand with the Philippines. Oh, Thailand's got these great hospitals that you're never going to use. Okay? He says a lot of their doctors train in the U.S., same as here. Hey, thank you. The best healthcare is self-care, but that sounds too easy for y'all. It's too generic. What was people doing to live so long? What was people doing before all this medicines and all this stuff, this modern uh, healthcare procedures and everything that they got? What were they doing? My great grandmother died in 1970. 1970. She was 80 years old. How did she live to be 80 years old? They didn't have all the stuff in 1970. Certainly, she was born in 1890 that they do today. Yeah, but we can talk about this. If you got to be honest, man. Be honest, man. When's the last time you went to the doctor? Okay, really. Don't lie because it's not going to do you any good to lie. Okay, I've only been to the doctor here when I absolutely have to go. When something's really out of whack over here. First of all, I'm kind of scared. That's what, it's like I don't have any confidence. And it's like I don't know the people. I don't want just anybody sticking their hand up my butt, you know. But most of us don't go to the doctor. And you're just lying if you say you do. I'm saying most. I'm not saying there's not people watching me that hasn't been to the doctor in the last year. But for most people, we don't take time out to do it. Unless the doctor comes to you. I remember I was working for WellCare, and they actually brought the doctors to us. And they did all the blood work, and they did all of that right there in the office. Yeah. Hey, what's up, man? TJ, say happy Thanksgiving for Vietnam. I forgot about the holiday entirely until yesterday. Kind of funny considering the world adopted Black Friday for capitalism purposes. Yeah. Now he's in Vietnam. Now I looked on the list. Vietnam, I don't believe made that list of the top 67 countries, the top infrastructure, the top 67 for the top 67 countries. Switzerland was number one. Thailand was well, Malaysia was 35, Thailand was 44, Colombia was 55, Brazil 58, Philippines 61, Mexico 62. Unless I overlooked Vietnam. I didn't see Vietnam on there. Because I was looking for the countries in Southeast Asia and, places where sex pets go, where men are going to meet women, you know, because that's another thing we're in denial about. You're a sex pet. We can argue about that. But when you look at those countries, their infrastructure is way down at the bottom because it doesn't have to be any good because you're not going there for infrastructure. Yeah, I mean, everybody's gonna have their opinion about Andrew Tate. I believe it or not, I was talking to an Australian guy at the gym the other night. I never even heard of Andrew Tate till I met the Australian guy maybe 2 years ago. He's just not somebody, but I know this that you can't argue about the fact that he's got a lot of influence, man. He's really, really big. He was one of the guys, he was one of the first guys to really get rich on social media. I mean, they banned him from all. Now imagine banning somebody from all social media. What's that all about? And he's still earning millions of dollars. This is what I was talking about. Because he's putting out information, and these young men and men are, they're following it. He's got followers. They're not gonna bother you if you got 200 subscribers or some shit like that. He had millions. People were listening to him. It was changing their behavior. He says, also wild to see you pro. No, I'm not pro Tate, man. Don't put words in my mouth. I never even heard of pro. Um, I never heard of, believe it or not, I've been in the Philippines for 6 years. I tell y'all, I've been on YouTube for 4. I never heard of Andrew Tate till 2 years ago, and probably the same as Kevin Samuels. But I've never put down either one of them. I never put down any of them. I wasn't reluctant because I didn't know them, TJ. I didn't know them. Okay, I don't know what happened. He said, "Yeah, I'm an expat, but I'm more of an asylum seeker from the Matrix. I'm looking for a sanctuary city." Yeah, you're looking for more than that. He said, "You ain't coming over here, Harry." Yeah, he's been saying that for what 4 years now. He may show up. Yeah, he said customer service, they would not say no. They would not say I don't know. They don't want to offend. It's different over here. Okay. Yeah, he said, hey Cal, I'm looking forward to the meet and greet in December, bro. Yeah, but TJ done spoiled everybody. It's not gonna be like that. I've never had a meet and greet like that. Okay. I'm sorry. But everybody saw that. I was impressed myself. I'm like, well, hell, I wish I could have a meet and greet like that every single time. But I am looking for a DJ. I like the DJ. I want to see if in some way, I want to kind of mimic what he did just on a smaller budget, man. TJ rolled it out, man. If you missed that meet and greet, that was on you. I'm sorry. That probably only comes around once in a lifetime. I don't know if anybody's ever had a meet and greet like that before. I've never been to one. Okay. He said, I'm in trouble if I have to worry about being close to a hospital. Well, you can live next to a hospital. You're still not going to go. We're allergic to hospitals for some reason. Yeah, life insurance, but um, health insurance is cheaper for a man. You can actually get a pretty good um, policy. Well, I'm just saying though, a lot of it was self care. Today, back then they didn't have McDonald's and all that fast food junk and all that. We don't know what we're eating most of the time, all that processed food and everything like that. She died in 1970. I was 7 years old. I never forget it because in her last maybe 30 days, she lived with us. She was 80. Now you're talking about a 7-year old, an 80-year old she might as well have been 1,000 years old. But she was in good shape. She just died. But they were doing something, okay, because they didn't have all this fancy stuff. He said, Cal been the same weight since the age of 35. I'm now 59. Wow. Yeah, see, that's what I said. Less processed foods. They had to get out there and get it, man. All that hard work that they did. It's a lot of reasons. Yeah, see, we're just talking about ideal situations, strange ways, because you're right. All these people are talking about how good healthcare is in America. Just look at it right now. Okay, when my mother died in 1993, I told my sisters and brothers, I said, hey, look, it could be negligence. Now, in 1993, 400,000 people died from hospital negligence in the United States. Imagine what it is now, 30 years later. But we don't look at that. We're just talking out the side of our necks, man. We live in an age of information. You can learn just about any fact that you need, but we won't do it. We're too lazy, man. We're mentally lazy. He said healthcare is a crapshoot anywhere in the world. Even top hospitals kill patients through accidents or bad procedures. The guy who was he down in Georgia? They cut the wrong leg off. Okay, instead of the one that was diabetic and gangrene, they cut the other one off. And now they have to cut both of them off. It happens all the time. He said doctors used to make house calls. Yeah, it is. There is genius all over the world. It didn't skip the Philippines, But you can help yourself. A lot of guys don't even work out over here. I don't care how old they are. They're in their 30s, 40s, 50s. They don't do shit. They go out and drink and party and smoke and all of that, thinking, oh, it's an age limit to die. I'm too young to die. You're setting yourself up for your future failure. The way you live in your 30s is going to show up in your 50s. See, I stopped drinking and smoking and doing all that foolishness. I was 2 weeks from turning 35 years old. And so that's why I'm in as good shape as I'm in now. And I kept going, I'd be dead already. I'm sure of that. Well, I'm just saying, TJ, I'm not going to argue with you. You can't argue that the man became so famous for whatever reason, good or bad, and rich, by the way, that they kicked him off of social media, period. He solved the algorithm. You got people making videos about Andrew Tate getting millions of views, even now. Anything he's on, millions of views. He's popular, man. It doesn't matter how you feel about it or how I feel about him. I'm not a pro Tate. I was just telling you when the guy says, oh, he's a con man. Well, that's everybody's. Everybody's got an opinion. I don't think he's worried about our opinion, though. The man's got millions of dollars. You know, that's all I'm saying. Who are we supposed to listen to? Trump? Who, Obama? You better listen to yourself. You better be able to think for yourself. This is the problem. We're always waiting for somebody to come along, some messiah, to lead us somewhere. Now, you better lead your own damn self. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay? Give a shit about Kevin Samuels and all them guys. I live by my own principles. Hell, I'm just as I'm older than those guys. I got just as much life experience. It's not like anything they're sharing is life shattering or earth shattering. Same as me. We just talking real life stuff. He said John Somali. Yeah, right. Yeah, he said that Devour was the best. And this is why everybody, because I'm gonna tell you something, PTJ dog. I never seen so many people asking me, when's the next meet and greet? Because they think it's gonna be like that. Whenever I've meet and greets before, only a few people would show up. That same core group of people, about 25 people would show up. But then they see that thing that happened in Deval. Every day somebody's asking me, hey, what's the next meet and greet? Yeah, you had it, man. We're on the 32nd floor with the infinity pool. Nobody used the pool. Open bar, I mean, all you can drink. The food, the DJ, everything was there. You know, it's going to be hard to duplicate that. No one's ever had a meet and greet like that, I promise you, in the Philippines. It's usually they'll have it at a place where you got to buy your own food and drinks and you sit around and you're talking. That was a damn meet and greet right there. Okay. And that's why people were, hey, you know, when is the next meet and greet? You should say, when's the next TJ sponsored meet and greet? Retired 2019 said, Cal, I'm in remission and focusing on improving my diet. I'm eating more whole foods. Now, were you doing that before? He said the biggest expenses were the liquor and the venue rental, and you could definitely soften those blows. Yeah, see, a lot of times, man, you know what our meet and greets, you've seen the ones here in St. Carlos, everybody would bring their own bottle. But now they're trying to get shitty over here and try to charge you a cork, fee, a corkage fee. Like, y'all don't have the liquor to serve us over here. Why can't we bring our own liquor? And then at the end of the night, They're gonna give me a list of stuff. They charging me for everything. Extra fork if I needed it. Extra plate. I'm like, well, I thought all that came in the package. See, what I would probably do, and I'm looking into it now. I'm looking at Awani renting that space, and then we can bring our own liquor in there. I'm looking at at renting a space like that because people are gonna drink. I'm sorry, they're gonna drink, man. And now that we've got the new uh, microphones for the karaoke, he said, "You mean you're holding on to a trailer, Harry? Man, get your butt out of the trailer before I can get over here." I don't know. Yeah, we were just talking about the guy called him a kind man, and I said, well, uh, he's already beat. They've thrown out all his charges. TJ, they can really let him out. They already said they got to give him all his cars back and all his money. This is, this is just in the news. But to say who cares about Tate, he got millions of followers, guys. It doesn't make him. It doesn't mean good or bad. And our opinion doesn't matter. I don't follow Andrew Tate. I never even knew he was around until 2 years ago. Imagine that. Or Kevin Samuels. When Kevin Samuels died, I just was hip to Kevin Samuels because he had been around for a long, long time. What was the difference in him before and then he finally got popular? Because we followers, man. That man was online for a long, long time from my research before he got as successful and as popular as he was. So what changed? Hey, Confident Boy Speaks, thanks for that super chat. He said brisk walking and body weight workouts can lower your mortality risk by 20 to 30%. It absolutely can. And we're talking about quality of life too. I don't know if you want to live to be 100 and you shuffling around, you can't see, you can't hear, you can't enjoy life. You know, I don't know. How would you even know you're still alive, I guess? But we take life for granted. Everybody does. I'm thankful for every minute. See, if you've never been through hell, you take life for granted, man. I've been through hell. I mean, literal hell. Life was so bad for me. I used to wish I was dead. I used to wish I would lay down and not wake up, man. But when you went through stuff like that, you can appreciate life. But we take it for granted. We're gonna live to be 1,000 years. We won't squash those petty ass beefs we've got and all of that. Okay, so the guy owes you $20 or whatever it is. Okay, you argue about, some bullshit matter that at the end of the day is not going to matter. You better be out here living your life. Oh, okay. He said I talked to Geechee. He's doing good and still chilling out here. Yeah, I haven't heard from him. I'm still mad at him from shitting in my toilet and leaving it in there. And nobody knows to not to flush the damn toilet. But I let that go because I can forgive. But every time I see him, I think about him. I think about that. But it does work. It does work. Okay. If you don't believe me, ask Merle. I say, whenever, something's in my head, I take off walking, man, through Center Mall. And by the time I'm finished, man, it's gone. I'm talking about, but the experts would tell you that's what to do. That's what works. But we won't even get out and walk. If you're in good shape, if you're happy, man, and you live in a simple life, you don't need all this infrastructure crap. You can find things to make yourself happy. I don't need a bar to make me happy. I don't need some concert. People, it's your choice, but I don't need that to be happy. So that's why it depends on who you are. Be happy. I mean, enjoy where you are if it makes you happy. Don't argue with me about, oh, the place I am is better than your place. It's not, because if I came to your place, I'm going to live the same way I'm living over here. It's not the place, it's me. Yeah, but see, I want to try some place with Central. He said try Baguio City on your next meet and greet, then off to 100 Islands and Alaminos. The meet and greets are for y'all. It's not to meet me. It's to bring people together because y'all take that for granted. You act like you don't need to know people over here. It's so much better at those meet and greets when you're talking with people, you see they're enjoying the same thing you're enjoying. They get your jokes. Whatever problems you going through, they understand it. Just being around other people, other like-minded people, you don't get that every day. Nothing. A lot of people would show up. He said, what do you think would happen if you had your meet and greet in Dumaguete? Nothing. Nothing. They don't own Dumaguete, man. Nothing would happen. People would show up down there. I'd be like, hey, my next meet and greet. Michael Onstad just had a meet and greet in Dumaguete. They have them all the time. It doesn't have to be Old Dog and his crew. Even though when they have them, people show up, man. They come out because they know how important it is to be around those people, man. They drinking, everybody. You can hardly hear yourself think. Everybody's talking, laughing. Because after that's over with, it's back to crickets. They all going up in Valencia, out in Darwin somewhere. There ain't too many foreigners around. Yeah, he said Kevin Samuels was talking to men when he first was on YouTube. His popularity skyrocketed when his emphasis switched to women. I don't know what it was. I just know that he was on YouTube for a long time, man, talking in his car. He didn't wear those suits and stuff. They got old videos of him on there. Then he got popular. But he was basically saying the same stuff. But I never knew him. By the time I knew who Kevin Samuels was, he died. That's all. I think he's got a girlfriend, though. Geechee's got a girlfriend now. I'm almost sure he does. That helps. He said, I appreciate you checking on him, 53. He seems kind of flaky in his videos. And he's got a girlfriend, though. Yeah, but I mean, it's like, well, okay, do you want to die by a machine gun or by a damn 45 caliber to your head? He said, you guys talked to me about smoking, but I don't drink, haven't touched a drop in 33 years. Okay, you act like smoking is no big deal. If you want to smoke, smoke. But don't act like uh, that's something healthy, that it's not killing your ass, it's not having some effect on you because it is. People talk to you about it because they care. I learned that a long time ago from my mother. My mother was the only one who would get in my shit, man, because she loved me. She cared about me. Everybody else, man, would just stand by and watch you die and kill yourself and then say, okay, good riddance. But when people love you and they care about you, they're going to confront you. My American wife used to confront me. That's how I knew she loved me. You need to get your shit together. She's going to tell you the real deal. She's not going to sugarcoat it. That's all. He said, you think it's worse. But it don't matter. Your body don't know what it's, neither one of them. You're not supposed to smoke. Your body wasn't created or designed to smoke tobacco or to drink alcohol. I don't think you could do either of them, what you call it, when you don't do it too much, moderately, in moderation. He said, Don Salvador Benedicto really seems like the Baguio central part of the Philippines. Well, it is. It just doesn't have the tourist attraction that it does. Hey, thank you, Wesley. Brings Otter. Thanks for that super sticker. I really appreciate it. He says, what did he say? Okay, Kevin Samuels was hated by the women because he was telling the truth. Well, anybody that tells the truth, they're not gonna like you. Me and Merlin was just having this discussion. I said, why do you think that a lot of these guys and Filipinos, they really don't like me because I'm telling the absolute truth that's right there in everybody's face, but people are afraid to talk about it. So you think if I don't talk about it, it's not happening? It's happening, whether I talk about it or not, but it's right there in your face, but you won't talk about it. You're in denial. So if I say a little stuff like, oh, they'll do anything for that visa. You know, people, they get mad at you when you say stuff like that. You know, these women are using us over here. They only want us for our money. That's obvious. But you get a pushback for telling that just basic truth like that. Like, you know, the initial attraction is money for a foreigner. I don't care how old you are. They can throw the Filipino man under the bus all they want. They're lying to you. It's the opportunity you give them. And you've proven that time and time again that that's the fact. On the trips you take them to, the gifts you give them, the money you give them, the lifestyle that they live now versus before they met you. That's why they want you. You're going to believe whatever you want to believe. Oh, I'm not old. I'm only 29. I'm only 39, whatever it is. She couldn't want me for that. Yes, she can. And that's the attraction, guys. So when I tell you that, you get mad at me. No, it's not me. You know, I didn't meet my girl online. It don't matter. Why would she want you anyway? You have little in common with her. Very little in common. You don't understand each other. It takes years, and you still don't understand. I can say something, and Marilyn get mad at me. Oh, you raised your voice. I'm like, raise my voice. You know, but she was smart enough to know because she said this guy probably knows already. When I said, well, why were you on the dating site? She didn't lie because she knew I knew already. Because why would I ask her that? Okay. She started struggling. She said, I wanted somebody to help me. Now you ask your girlfriend that, and you know what they're gonna say? 9 times out of 10, oh, I'm tired of Filipino men. They're cheating, and I wanted to try something different. Bullshit. Lady, you want a lifestyle upgrade. That's what you want. And you're willing to do anything to get it. Talking about the ones on the dating site. And just because I say it doesn't make it worse. I always tell people, well, just tell me where I'm lying. They're going to tell you that. Oh, I'm tired of Filipino men. Oh, you are. You only have one Filipino boyfriend. And you're going to speak for the rest of the 55 million? Are they all cheaters? Okay. Are they all chicks, boys? They throw them all under the bus because they know what you want to hear. Oh, I really want you for you. How many videos you see on here? They never tell you the truth on why Filipinos really love older men. And then they'll say some bullshit like, oh, because he's more mature. He's more responsible. Bullshit, man. And y'all fall for it because that's what y'all want to hear. So when I come along and say, nah, this bullshit, here's why they with you for real. Okay. It's the finances. That's the initial attraction. For it to become romance, that's up to you and to her. Yeah, she wanted to try something different. They always do that. They'll throw every Filipino man under the bus to build up your ego. Or you think because you're not old, okay, they don't want you for your money. Bullshit, man. Y'all don't realize how uh, tough it is over here for some people. There's a reason why you get that girlfriend experience when you get over here. And they act like they've been knowing you forever. So if I don't say it, it means it's not happening. Tell me I'm lying. When you get off the plane and she's waiting for you at the airport and you go back to the hotel and you do everything as if you've been married for years. It was happening long before I got on YouTube, but nobody was talking about it. They were talking around it. I don't be so blunt. What do you mean? It's just a 100% fact. Okay? Yeah, it is. It is, but I don't say that to make anybody feel bad. Just like I said, I don't want to. I said, who on here? I said, I could ask you to put a one in there if you haven't been to the doctor in a year. I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. I make the conversation so get you to thinking like, yeah, maybe I need to go to the doctor. Okay, it's the same when I talk about this stuff. It's not to put anybody down. I just don't want you to be blindsided because that's how you get in trouble over here. You start falling for these lies, these obvious lies, man. You know, does a woman eventually fall in love with you or something? Yeah, that's possible. And has real true feelings for you, yeah. But that's not the reason she's on that dating site. She's not looking for love, man. They got plenty of love over here. He said it's their pension, yeah, straight up. As long as you know that, because guess what? You want the pussy. That's what you want, but you're afraid to say it. So I say it for you. You don't come over here for the infrastructure. That's why I made the video today. Quit lying to yourself. Quit talking to me about the infrastructure in Thailand. That's not why you're there. Or wherever you are. Certainly not in Brazil. It's way down here. Colombia is way down here. The DR is not even on the damn chart. But you want to have a discussion with me about the infrastructure. Why can't we just talk as men and say, you know what, man, tired of the women over there. I see the guys over here. They got young, attractive women over there who are, willing to give somebody like me a chance, even though it's for a little money. We won't say that. We won't say that. We won't even say it. We'll keep lying to ourselves. Like you came over here for X amount of reasons and you don't believe any of them. I'll be talking to guys, and they'll be telling me, well, I'm not coming over there for the women when all they're talking about is women and every action that they performed is based around a woman. I was talking to a guy the other day. He's oh, it's not all about woman, but he's already got a woman. He's already put her up in an apartment. He's already renting the apartment and all of that, sending her money and all that, but it's not about women. It is about women. And for them, it's about money. Well, but duh, you would say no, because guys don't like me for that. Because they say, oh, it's not me. It's not all the time, Cal. Bullshit. Yeah, but we spend too much time talking about what they want, Cesar, when we don't talk about what we want. You know why you come over here. You want the sex, but you don't want. You think people don't know that. You think we're stupid. The people over here aren't stupid. They know why you come 8,000 miles for a girlfriend. But when you say something plain like that, because I'm getting ready to get a T-shirt today made. I was hoping it would be done today for my live stream. I came 8,000 miles for a girlfriend. I'm not ashamed to say it. But y'all are ashamed to say it. But the people know it anyway. Hell, you doing way over here? Yeah, but that goes for all of them, TJ. Like when the guy put up the video, I mean, he put up the show Thailand as being the most popular place or whatever it was. I said, that's all subjective. It's all subjective. It all depends on who is writing the article. We had that discussion on the last live stream. All those lists, I don't buy any of them. I just did it to make a point, though. It doesn't change the narrative. It doesn't, even if the Philippines infrastructure was #1 in the world, that's not why you're coming here. That's not why me ain't coming here. Okay? That's the point I'm making. The infrastructure has nothing to do with it. Now, after you have the post-nut analysis, oh, let me see. Do they got good enough internet for my digital nomad business or my work? Now you're worried about that. Okay? But Kaz will tell you right now, he's been here over 2 years. He's never had any problems with the internet in Manila. His job absolutely demands that he has good Wi-Fi. He had an issue with his computer. He had to take the computer back to America and replace it and come back. But the internet never. And that's a long, long time, guys. Yeah, thank you. Okay, this is not earth-shattering. It's the people who deny it. You're not going to run into people like Michael Onstad who said, I said, why you coming, Mike? 2 divorces. Okay. I said, did the infrastructure have anything to do? He said, never crossed my mind. It never crossed my mind. I never heard about the infrastructure, guys, until I got on YouTube. When people are talking about comparing infrastructure, I'm like, why are you comparing the infrastructure when you know you're not in Thailand for the infrastructure? Does that help? Yeah. Well, this is the post-nut analysis, but you don't come over here for that. It might make you leave, like the guy said in my comments, but that's not why you come. My video, you may want to go back and look at the title of that video, Angelo. It says, no one comes to the Philippines for the infrastructure. Now, you can make a video that says, many people are leaving the Philippines because of the infrastructure. But there's guys over here, like I told you in the video, who are rich. They can live anywhere on the planet. So why are they here in the Philippines then? Okay, I was with a guy. Okay, was it Saturday? Yeah, I think it was Saturday in Bacolod. You can't live anywhere in the world any better than where he's living. So why is he living in the Philippines? I said, well, what about the infrastructure? He's like, well, what about the infrastructure? I said, well, where does that come from? He said, Cal, I don't know where it comes from. And I told him, I said, yeah, you're right. I never heard that until I got on YouTube. And now all of a sudden, men are trying to say that that's an issue. When you flew into the Philippines, and when you talk about poor infrastructure, what are you talking about, Angelo? Didn't you just fly to Thailand and back? Or did you have to walk to Thailand? Or do you have to catch one of these old ferries to Thailand? Or did you fly on a modern jet to Thailand, enjoy Thailand, and flew on a modern jet back in a modern airport? We take that to, it's something else that's that you're unhappy about. It's not the infrastructure. It's something else. But you can blame it on the infrastructure. No one wants to be as comfortable. No one wants to be as comfortable as me. I'm going to tell you if I'm not comfortable. If I found it so unbearable over here, why would you think I would stay here then? What makes you think I'm lying? Like, okay, the infrastructure is okay for me here after my post-nut analysis. Okay? But the United States has a damn good infrastructure. I mean, it ain't perfect, but it's damn good. But I was miserable over there. Okay? It wasn't good enough to keep me there because it wasn't the infrastructure. This isn't 1800s over here. I guess the 1800s over here. Okay, but what about the infrastructure there? But it's something else. Okay, because you're on here now. We had uninterrupted Wi-Fi. That's what y'all talk about. Wi-Fi. What else when y'all talk about infrastructure? Because infrastructure encompasses a whole lot than just transportation and internet. We're not saying that. We're just saying go back and watch my video again, TJ. No one, I guarantee you, if you ask 100 guys and they honest, maybe one of them will say, "Well, I mean, I want the infrastructure. I need a better infrastructure because of my business." Okay, wait, let me do YouTube. It's gone. You got you only got 2% on here, booby. Wait, I'm almost done. You can use my phone. We're not. I don't even compare infrastructure, TJ. Infrastructure never crossed my mind until I got on YouTube. It doesn't cross anybody's mind, really. I think it's petty. I think it's a weak argument. Okay, no one is going to look at their destination because the places where men go sex packs, men who are looking for women, who are looking at the women. Okay, that name is subjective. Okay, they're not worried about the infrastructure because the infrastructures in those places are way down. What type of infrastructure does the DR have? Mexico, Colombia, Brazil. Absolutely, it has no influence on where men go. Well, a lot of people do that, but it's not the infrastructure. That's all I'm saying. It's just that guys, a lot of the men who they just want to come, if they can find what they want, they're going to settle in that area, TJ, if that's what they're looking for. So if they find what they want in the Philippines, they're going to stay here. Or they're going to take the woman with them, like a lot of guys do. They take the woman with them to Thailand or Vietnam or whatever, but it's the woman somewhere around, okay? But normally that's what happens. So a guy goes to Thailand, he finds the woman he wants. Okay, I'm in Thailand. And now everything else around him starts becoming crystal clear. Oh yeah, I like the transportation. I like the tourist spots and all of that. But the woman is the reason they're going there. And the warm weather and all that, the beaches and all that. Yeah, that's what I always say. It's all subjective, whoever makes the list. Like they'll tell you, as popular as the Philippines is, they'll tell you that the Philippines is nowhere even in the top 50 most popular tourist spots or vacation spots. If you go on somewhere like Forbes or somewhere like, what's the other one? Uh, what's the cruise line that does their list and all of that? It's whoever's making the list. Hey, darling, May, thank you. But when people got money, it is subjective because now they're saying, I can go anywhere, but I'm choosing the Philippines if I'm rich. I can go anywhere. There's people who are actually rich here. A lot of men over here, this is one discussion we could have. Why does the Philippines attract so many rich men? So many rich foreigners then? Let's have that discussion. Okay? And okay, rich is relative, I guess. But you know what rich is? I'm talking about by Western standards. I've had 4 multimillionaires in my house, sit at my table, that live here in the Philippines and married to Filipinos or have Filipino living partners. Now, why are they here when they can live anywhere on the planet? Multimillionaire, not guys that all that I get 6 figures. These are guys with 7 figures in the bank or have 7-figure businesses that are still operating. Multimillionaires, and they choose the Philippines. Let's have that discussion then. If the infrastructure, you don't think infrastructure is important to those guys? Not that important. I've had 4 multimillionaires in my house, believe it or not. Million with a capital M. Okay, I'm just saying. Let's have that discussion. Why does the Philippines seem to attract so many rich men? And then when you go from the millionaires, now you got that next tier of guys who are financially independent. The millionaires are the 1%. Then you got that 5%. It's plenty of them over here. I mean, they're all over the place. I mean, guys that just absolutely got money, that they're going to have that money till they die. Their age and their money coincides that you're going to have this money for the rest of your life. Okay. My point is, TJ, let me get this. Confident Voice Speaks, thanks for the super chat. He said the infrastructure in the Philippines would definitely sharpen your human adaptation skills. Every day feels like an adventure. But you're one of those guys, okay? You're one of those guys, you come down a step or two from, where you could live in Thailand. You could live in Switzerland. You could live in any of those places, Confident Voice Speaks, but you're here. This is what I'm saying. It has to mean something. If you're a man who can live anywhere, but you choose the Philippines, so what's that all about? That's my point I'm trying to make, TJ. Okay? I'm just telling you that there's a lot of guys over here. Hey, J. Henry P.I. says, morning, Cal and Sunshine Shoulders family. You're right, Cal. They only worry about infrastructure once they find the right woman. It is, that is. That's the post-nut analysis. Now, all of a sudden, they're looking around, the infrastructure, or this or that, the internet. Well, that's not why you came here. Because you would have never stepped foot over here if all of that concerns you prior to your coming over here, because that information is easy to find. You could easily find out how good or bad the infrastructure in the Philippines is. Yeah, all you got to do is watch YouTube. But that doesn't deter you from coming here. You on the first plane smoking over here because we know why you come here. Okay? Now we can get into that other discussion and all that stuff later. Okay? I'm sorry. But yeah, thanks for joining the live stream, man. I've met guys, man, that just absolutely living fantastic lives over here. The lack of infrastructure doesn't seem to be in their way, obstructing them from living their best lives. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about they come here. It has nothing to do with their tax rates. They're not residents here. They're coming from the West to come here to the Philippines. Okay? Yeah, smash the like button, guys. Yeah, yeah. I think they need to go back and read and listen to that article. I mean, listen to the video again. The title's clear as day. Men don't come to the people don't come to no one comes to the Philippines for the infrastructure. This is not why they come. They come for the diving. Okay, now we saw a list. Kai sent me a list today. Okay, that the Philippines, now it depends on the list, remember, guys, because whenever they put the Philippines up here, y'all gonna find a way to knock it down. They said it's voted the #1 diving spot on the planet. So now what? Yeah, but this isn't even true, Rashad. This isn't even true. These are guys who don't go anywhere. I was just in Bacala. The guy that just talked on here, he took me to some places. He showed me just in Bacala, 5 or 6 places. He's from America. He said the food is excellent there. He said the food is excellent there, but it's expensive. We met at Cafe Bob's. The Philippines doesn't need a million food places. It's not Thailand. You can't compare the two. Thailand needs a million food places because they got 49 million people. Tourists coming in there. You have to do something to entertain these people to keep them coming back. Do some research and see how important that tourist industry is to Thailand. It didn't just all of a sudden pop up and all of a sudden, oh, okay, we got 49 million people over here. They got a damn machine going over there. The Philippines got 8 million. They don't need all them places, but there's enough places where you can get good food. I know what y'all talking about. They don't have all the street vendors and all that stuff like that, right? The street foods and different things. But good food to me is good food to me. When we ate at Cafe Bob's, it was as good as any place I've ever eaten. Okay. And then, like I said, you go down to Cebu, Mactan, you go to Morning Glory Grill. I mean, what? Now, good food is subjective, TJ. That's subjective right there. Because those places, the food is good. Mawani's good to me. Merlin's cooking is good to me. Yeah, hit the. But as men, I think we could be able to have open conversations like this because it's only going to help you. The truth will set you free. Don't tell me to my face you coming over here for some bullshit when I know why you get on that plane. It's a long way, man, from where you live to come over here. You better have a damn compelling reason if it's not for what everybody else is coming over here for you to come 8,000 miles. But if you want to lie to yourself, you go ahead and lie. But you know, nobody's wrong. If they say, if somebody comes to me and say, you know, I like Thailand better than any other place I've ever been, I'm not going to argue with them. But if you say, oh, Thailand is better than the Philippines, now you're going to get an argument because there's some guys over here who found what they want. And they're saying, okay, well, I don't think it's better. I've lived in both, they'll say. And I chose the Philippines because, and then there's people in Thailand say, I live in the Philippines, I don't want it. It's the individual. That's what it comes down to. He said, Cal, give Dion his flowers, don't hate. I don't hate on nobody. The pie's big enough. See, you got me wrong. You don't know me that well to say that. Because they just got trampled the other day, but that's sports. Now, when they win, you'll come back out of the woodwork and say, oh, look, they're winning. Just like, look at Connecticut. They lost 3 games. Now, everybody's coming on. Oh, they don't look like the 2-time defending champions. That's sports, man. Okay? I don't have anything against Dion. You got to give him his flowers. That team is so much better. Okay? But it's only been 2 years. Come on, let's keep going. Sports, you know, it's what have you done for me lately? I think you know that W secret to success. You can never really win. Okay? That's all I'm saying. And see, he's making a point here. Even in the countries, okay, There's just not one blanket infrastructure. Will y'all agree with me on that? That the infrastructure in certain places in the Philippines is better than it is in others. Same everywhere you go. Because the guy's pushing back on the video. He said, "Oh, you don't know about Mexico." And he starts naming cities, right, where the infrastructure is good, right? I said, well, but it doesn't change the fact that their infrastructure as a whole is underneath the Philippines. So yeah, you're right, Al Rogan. BGC has the best infrastructure in your opinion, but there's other places in the Philippines where if that concerns you, you can find that. But that's everywhere you go. You know, we can say, you know, I just feel I feel welcome here. I feel safe here. It's just a simple way of life that I don't need a whole lot. You know, I'm 61 though. If somebody, okay, TJ's what, 34, his wants and needs is totally different. So the Philippines probably is not going to meet his needs and wants, and probably wouldn't have met mine at 34. As a matter of fact, I wasn't even thinking about the Philippines when I was 34. So I really got to take my hat off to you young guys. I was still chasing the American nightmare over there. Didn't have a clue what was outside America, and I didn't care. Okay, but now that I've gotten out here and I've been over here for a while, I met thousands of men. I meet thousands of people, man. And I say to myself, you know, we got a lot in common. We're part of the 8,000 mile club. It doesn't matter if you think you're doing it better than me. You got more money, more education. We got that in common. Okay. You got a woman over here and I got one too. And you can give the reason, all the reasons you want. Oh, I didn't meet her in the Philippines. It doesn't matter. You're part of that club. That's all I'm trying to say, guys. We spend too much time trying to outdo each other instead of coming together and say, okay, this is a great place to start. We got this in common. What else we got in common? Oh, I was in the military. I was too. I work in IT, so do I. But no, we start from that point where I'm better than you. It's a subclass, he's saying. I know what you mean by that. We just start making up stuff. All the food. It's everybody. Even if you choose Thailand, you didn't go there for the infrastructure. You only found that out later. The all Thailand's got a pretty good infrastructure. It's not as great as what people make it out to be, but when you compare it against the Philippines, it is. But you shouldn't compare Thailand with the Philippines. That's you're not comparing apples to apples, but they do it anyway. Look at all them countries ahead of Thailand. Why don't you compare Thailand with those countries? If infrastructure is so important to you, but it's not. What you're really comparing is the women, okay, and the cost of living. It's not the infrastructure. He said Mawani has good food. Their pesto chicken is boss. It's so good, Calvin. I'm going to come to San Carlos City for that pesto chicken. Yeah, I mean, people they kill me when they say, "Oh man, it's the food." You're just hearing people say that. Okay, so many places here where you can get a good meal. I don't understand. I mean, if you're living in a place like even in, like I said, I just came from Bacala, but if you go to Dumaguete, if you go to Cebu, Davao, General Santos, any of those places, man, Manila, Cagayan de Oro, okay, what's the name of that place in Cagayan de Oro? Like freaking burgers. Go there and tell me that the Philippines doesn't have good food. Go to freaking burger. I don't even know if that's an international brand or whatever that is. Okay, You're gonna be biting your damn lips. The food is so damn good. Try, you want a real burger over here? Go to freaking Burger in Kagandi Oro, wherever they are. But I can only speak for the one in Kagandi Oro. It's so many places, man. But they'll just put that out there, and they just keep on beating that. If they tell that lie enough, it's gonna become the truth. That's not true. I don't have any food problems over here, man. Cook your own damn food then. It's always good. But they talking about balloons. They're talking about shrimp paste, dried fish. They're talking about a lot of cultural stuff that you're not even gonna deal with. You're not even gonna try it. And you know that when the man comes around with the homemade ice cream and all that, you're not gonna eat that stuff. You're not gonna stop at the Carinderia and eat denaguan, pig blood and all that stuff. That's cultural food. But if you go to the right place and you eat that stuff, it's good. It depends on who's cooking it. He said, if you can't find the food you want, when did we forget how to cook? Yeah, the food we like, or teach your wife or girlfriend to cook. Food you like, it's not magic. This is the point I make all the time, J. Henry P.I. I said, there's only so many ways you can cook beef, fish, chicken, okay, and pork. And if you like seafood. I mean, well, what's the point about that? I don't get it, but we're going to find something to compare. We want to reassure ourselves that the vacation or retirement place I chose is the best. We need to be reassured. We want to make sure with all the thousands of options that we made the right choice instead of saying, hey, I'm happy. Okay, if you're happy over there where you are, man, my head's off to you. But don't come over here, because I don't take it personal. If you bring up Thailand, different places, guys that come out there take it personal. You're not even from Thailand. You're from America, England, or Jamaica, or something down where. This is how silly we get. We take this stuff for personal. Them people don't care nothing about you. You better keep them dollars flowing, or you wouldn't even be over here, period. See? You part of 8,000-mile club. We need to stick together. Because if you go broke over here, guess what? They're going to kick your ass out of Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, wherever you doing all that fancy living and all that fancy infrastructure. Okay? Go to the infrastructure and get a loan. That's all I'm saying. It's always the Philippines and Thailand. All of these, TJ lives in Vietnam now. Why don't we bring Vietnam in the mix? Why don't we bring Malaysia? See, that's probably, if you want to compare infrastructure and food and all that, why don't you compare Malaysia to Thailand or Singapore to Thailand or Taiwan to Thailand? That's all. And why even compare it at all? If you're happy where you are, just be happy. You must not be happy. Happy people don't put down other places. They don't argue. They don't fight. They don't troll. If you're happy, man, somebody over here is happy. We don't do all that stuff. We just enjoy wherever I am. Okay? I was not happy with that infrastructure and all that first world living that I had in America. That's why I'm over here in the Philippines. Why am I so much happier here? And I'm not supposed, if I listen to half of you guys on here, I'm not supposed to be happy here. What are you doing happy over in the Philippines? They'll say. Well, they don't have this, they don't have this. They always talk about what it don't have. They never talk about what it does have. The things that make it appealing. Okay, so we can have that discussion all day long. For the most part, Cebu is. Now, BGC's up there in Luzon, where, the rainy season is the rainy season. Cebu is in Central Visayas. When they had that, I was there in 1990, I mean 2021 for Typhoon Odette. Hell, it was the first real typhoon that they've had in Cebu. I mean, where they were in the eye of the typhoon of what, 30, 40 years. It's one of the reasons I moved to, that I came to Cebu to begin with. I didn't want nothing to do with that traffic and congestion in Manila or the weather up that way. He said, American Nightmare. Yeah, I was chasing that. I was chasing that. I never knew about the Philippines. Okay. I knew about it from the service, but I forgot all about it. It was only, okay, I won a trip to Vegas. The very first trip I won in my insurance career was to Vegas. Then the next was to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. That's when, you know, the travel bug really lit me on fire, man. I mean, it bit me and bit me hard. We had a great time. Otherwise, I wasn't even thinking outside the United States. I'm going to work my insurance agency, earn my money, drive my convertible, and just, you know, live like that the rest of my life. But when I went to Playa del Carmen, I was like, man, I need to start looking outside the United States. He said, people just want to talk about anything. First question should be, where are you now? How much time have you spent in one place? Most haven't spent more than 2 weeks in one place. And this is a great point, one that Bumps and Bruce's makes. He said, they don't know enough about Thailand to say it's better than the Philippines. And they don't know enough about the Philippines to say it's better than Thailand. When I made the video, the 90-day fix, people cannot honestly say they've taken 90 days off and really lived in a place to see if it really fit them. 2 weeks is not enough, man. Not in a place like the Philippines, not in a place like Thailand, Vietnam, anywhere. He said most haven't spent more than 2 weeks in one place. I would say you're absolutely right. And getting 2 weeks off in America, I can only speak for America, man, it's like pulling teeth. You might have 2 weeks vacation. They'll give you 1 week off. You try to get that 2 weeks together, man, you need a court order. But all of a sudden, they come over here and they're experts on these countries that they're in. They haven't been here long enough. You see these YouTube, these vloggers, okay, it'd be okay if they were just talking about their life. They haven't even been here 6 months, 3 months, a year. Now all of a sudden they want to tell you about stuff that they have no clue about really. They're just putting the information out there. See, I don't do that. How all of a sudden can you stuck up in Manila, in Cebu, in Dumaguete. You don't go anywhere. But now all of a sudden, you got all the answers about the Philippines. It doesn't make sense to me. He says, I've had trash food in many countries. It all depends on who cooks it. Man, I've had so much trash food in America. We can make a whole video about that. It all depends on who's cooking the damn food. It's the petty argument, just like the infrastructure is petty. If you're hungry, you're gonna find you something to eat. You're gonna make that work. Okay. Same with the infrastructure. It's just something that people want to argue about and say, hey, look at me, I'm better than you. I'm in a better situation than you. No, you're not. You're over here doing the same thing I'm doing. We're in the same damn club. He said infrastructure is not a factor when you are visiting our tourists. It becomes a factor when you transition from visiting to living. Biggest drawback is the power grid. Okay, but where it just depends. There's better infrastructure in different parts of the Philippines. It's not a blanket infrastructure, Bacala Wheel. Okay. you may have frequent brownouts. They don't have frequent brownouts in Cebu and Manila and those places. I'm just saying that, remember, it's not who has the best infrastructure. That's not the vlog I made today. The vlog is no one comes to the Philippines for the infrastructure. It doesn't matter how important. You only decide that's important after you get here and you've had their post-nut analysis. Because why would you come to the Philippines in the beginning if infrastructure was such a big deal to you? Because you already know, if you're serious about infrastructure, hey, the Philippines infrastructure isn't as good as it is in other places. Maybe I need to look somewhere else. But you don't do that. You come right over here. And then we get over here, and oh, I'm over here working. You still in the club. It still doesn't make you better than me. We're still in the same club, guys. But we want to convince people that I'm doing it better than Sunshine Shoulders. You're still over here in the Philippines. You're not doing it any better. Oh, I got more money than you guys. Doesn't matter. Okay, see, here's what I'm saying right here. Okay, he said, why do you need to compare one country to another? Appreciate them for what they are and move on. It's completely subjective anyway. And you don't have to stay here. If there's another place that's better suited for you, go there. We don't have time to be sitting around having these petty discussions. They're petty. When you've got the resources that you can go somewhere else, then go. But what you say about the Philippines is not going to offend me. Okay? Nor is it going to take away from my experience here. Okay, I found what I was looking for here. And it's just like any other place. I'm not going to argue with a man who says, oh, Vietnam is the best place for me. I like the name or whatever it is. Or some guy that I met, he says, I like Malaysia. I'm not going to argue with him and say, okay, and put Malaysia down to make him seem like he'd have made the wrong choice and I made the right choice. I'm not going to do that. Are you happy over there, man? Be happy. Okay, but a lot of these guys, they're not really happy. That's why they come over and they try to rain on your parade. Oh, look at the Philippines, and look at all the trash, and look at this and this, the infrastructure. When I'm over here living my best life. Okay. If you make the right decisions, if you got the right amount of money and all of that, you're going to make it work, guys, no matter where you are. And if you can't make it work, then go somewhere where you can make it work. I'm going to argue with you. And putting the Philippines down doesn't offend me, but guys get offended. If you say something about Thailand, man, those guys are coming for you. And I'm like, why? You're not Thai. Yeah, you're not Thai. I mean, they offended, man. They take it personal. They really get mad. They really get angry about that. Hey, Brandon, thank you. He said, I'm new to your channel. I listen to a new video every day while driving to work in California. Cal, you are hilarious. Post-nut analysis. I love it. It's just true. Some people call it post-nut clarity. I call it analysis as it pertains to the Philippines, because all that other stuff doesn't mean anything to you that came over here and emptied your sack. Because guys come over here, they're hard up, man. They haven't had pussies and pussy had them. Now all of a sudden they get over here, they get a woman, she takes care of them. Now they're, the smartest tourist expat in the world. They can solve all the world's problems, and they know what's wrong with the Philippines and how to fix it. But you didn't come over here to do all of that. You came over here after that. He said, I'm in Moncton currently. I just left BGC. The infrastructure is fabulous, better than Thailand in many ways, and not overcrowded with tourists. But you better not say that, because you're not supposed to be happy here. Thailand is the utopia, not the Philippines. So if you say that, they're coming for you. you know, the Philippines doesn't have a blanket infrastructure. It's better some places. If you go to IT Park, man, it's no different than when I went to anywhere else. I could be in Louisville, Kentucky, or Memphis, Tennessee, somewhere when I'm in IT Park. You can't argue with me about that. Yeah, he said stop working. Yeah, let their pension stop or whatever it is. It's all about money anyway. Yeah, but it's unfair. It's not, but that doesn't mean it's right because that's what they do. Yeah, they compare it, but it's unfair. It's not comparing apples to apples. Thailand doesn't have the natural disasters. It has 49 million. They've never been colonized. I mean, it's just you can't compare those two. I mean, unless you want to, I don't see how you would be able to do that. It's a great topic about the medical insurance, Cal. Maybe do one on life insurance next. Well, hell, life insurance is so affordable in America. And remember, your life insurance, just because you relocate, doesn't mean that it's not in effect. As long as you're paying in premiums. Okay, but you're right. It is another discussion because most of us don't have life insurance. I sold life insurance for 16 years, man. And the reasons that we give for not having it, we should be ashamed of ourselves. But I always talk to the mother or the wife of the house because she seemed to be the one who's more reasonable. Men, we're not reasonable. Most of the men I talk to, I wouldn't even talk to them for 5 minutes because my first insurance manager said, look, if a man can't be reasonable about taking care of his family when he's not here, he says, you need to get up. Don't waste your time and don't waste his. If you can't see the importance of an insurance policy, okay, this is how you pass on wealth. But remember, we don't think we're ever going to die. People always talking about, passing on wealth. They think the only way to do it is with a house. You can take out insurance and do that and take care of your kids. But we won't do it because, first of all, we're not going to die. Second of all, are you wishing bad luck on me? And then we'll tell you we don't have money for it, but yet you're paying. How much is cable and Wi-Fi together in America? It's very expensive. Okay. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, see, this makes my point right here, though, TJ. I mean, Thomas. This makes my point. But we think they're similar. We think they're the same, and we can compare the two only because you can. You have that prerogative to do it, but it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's really what they're talking about. It's really what they're talking about. The women, basically. That's about all they have in common. Women. And the reason men go there is women. Other than that, they have very little in common. Yeah, the weather. But Thailand doesn't get hit with many typhoons. Now they do get floods. I didn't have a problem with Thailand because when I went there, it was a foreigner every 5 feet. I didn't have to learn the language. But some people don't like that. We were having lunch with a guy in Cafe Bob's in Bacolod. He's from Portugal. He's got his wife with him. He's not over here chasing women like a majority of us are. He's got his whole family, his 2 sons and everything. They really looking for a place with a more affordable cost of living. He had just come from Thailand. He said the problem with Thailand for him now, he didn't have no skins in the game. He's coming all the way from the UK. They lived in Portugal, sold their house, moved to the UK, took the trip to Thailand first. He said the language, he said, and every 5 feet there was a foreigner. He said he didn't like that. He said it was just too many foreigners. But remember, he only went to, I think he said he went to Hua Hin, Bangkok, and I believe Pattaya. He didn't go to many places. And that's what most of the people who are on here talking about, oh, the Bangkok is a utopia, or if it's better. They're the same way. Now, he was only there for 30 days. So why would I want to argue with somebody who's only been in a place 30 days and only been to limited places over there? But that's what he said. He doesn't have any skins in the game. Okay. He did say, yeah, it's more modern. He said, from what I've seen, it's more modern over there in Thailand than it is in the Philippines. He's going from Bangkok to Bacolod, basically. So, yeah, you're going to see that big difference. But for somebody who doesn't have any skins in the game, he's like, I didn't like it. Too many foreigners and the language barrier. But if you say that to somebody in Thailand, they're coming for you because they wear that proudly around their neck. They're proud of that they live there, and you better not say anything about it. The hypocrites are the ones who come over to the Philippines, marry or have a Filipino girlfriend, then go somewhere else and say, oh, where I live is much better than where you live. But it's all the same thing. Okay, those are the ones who I have a problem with. Okay, those are the ones I have a problem with. Hey, Nick, Sigma Enigma, thanks for that super chat. He says, secure peace of mind with affordable insurance tailored to your needs. Build a legacy of protection and security for your loved ones. Now, if you say that to somebody and they don't see the importance of that, don't waste your time, and certainly don't waste theirs. You go on to the next person who is reasonable, okay? Because you're not reasonable if you don't want to have insurance on you to at least pay for your final expenses, okay? You don't even have to leave them. They're already going to be grieving. Oh, I lost my father. I lost my mother. Now here comes the funeral director who cares nothing about that and hands you that bill. It's $15,000 or whatever it is. Now, not only are you grieving, now you're trying to wonder, well, where the hell am I going to get money to bury my mother or father? But yet you're going out every night, smoking weed, and doing all the things you're doing, but I can't afford any insurance. And then you'll come up with every reason not to, because they say that the Philippines is crap. But yet you got the woman from the Philippines. Okay, so it must not be too much crap. She's from the Philippines. That's the Philippines you got with you. So ain't too much crap about that. That's all I'm saying. How you gonna put the Philippines down and you got a Filipino with you, traveling all around the world and stuff? Then don't put the Philippines down, because that makes you a hypocrite. In my eyes, I'm just being honest. You're gonna say the Philippines is nothing, but you got one born and raised here. You pluck her from the Philippines, take her with you. Oh, but the Philippines is crap. Well, the woman you with is a crap then. But yeah, guys, let me get off here. Thank y'all so much for your super chat, super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support of Sunshine Shows. I really mean that, man. Everybody is still celebrating Thanksgiving over there. Don't eat too much, man. Don't drink and drive, man. Be safe out there on the road. I mean, really, man, because, you know, we drive better when we get drunk. And I hope nobody lost their life, man, out there. Okay? Yeah, but you can't say, he said, just because you pick an orange off a tree. But then you're going to say that damn farm is pitiful. Then don't go to the farm. Why are you going to the farm to take that risk of picking the fruit off the tree? If you say the farm is nothing, then everything that comes from the farm is nothing. You know, that argument don't hold any water for me. You know, I'm saying men come over here, they criticize the Philippines, but then they'll marry a Filipino woman that was born and bred from the Philippines. Make that make sense to me. Hey, Sigmund and Nigga, thanks for that super chat. He said, instead of securing a $30 a month plan for peace of mind, yeah, right. He said, many families rely on GoFundMe in times of need. This trend is heartbreaking. And it's just something that's come up, you know, with this online social media stuff. Okay, because our mothers, if you're somewhere around, if you're a baby boomer, our mothers had insurance on everybody in the family. Baby boomers, we kind of dropped the bag. Okay, we did when it comes to insurance. Okay, now with this social media, everybody wants to do GoFundMe. It really doesn't work, man. If you young and you're in good health and you get that, you might as well go on and lock that premium in now. Okay, I would have a whole life policy or some policy that's accumulating cash value. They got so many different policies for you young, sophisticated guys. And then I would have a term policy to protect my house and all of that. So when I die, my kids don't have to, you know, be relocated and get out of the house. We don't think that far ahead. You know, men, we're very skeptical of each other. But you let a woman over here especially say something that don't make sense at all, and we all for it. Oh, so, you know, let me open up a business over here for me, a sorry store, by the way. I don't have any business experience. I don't have a business plan. I've never owned a business. But it's a good idea, and you're going to do it. Or a piggery. Or whatever it is. I will just give them money for nothing. And it makes good sense to me. See? But take care, guys. Stay safe, stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time.